Hello, hello! What's up, everybody? Welcome to StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 today, brought to you by ITaX. It's not StarCraft 2 today necessarily, that's just how I like to call it myself. It's a super series brought to you not only by ITaX, but also Into the Clan. Korean, great old, good old, let's say perfected overall atmosphere for StarCraft 2 in Korea. Gotta hand it to them. Anyway, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Having a good time? I hope so far. Of course, there's no GSL here today, but we still have some pretty darn good players waiting for us to kind of play StarCraft 2. Right? Do a couple of games here and there, and we'll just be able to see what they're up to. Right. So we're starting off with well, I guess we're doing Cure versus Rogue first, as they are in the party, and usually when they are in the party, kind of means that they're going to be the ones playing here. So we're gonna make assumptions, which not really assumptions, more so a educated guess, if I were to say so myself. And yeah, all right, nice. That's my introduction. Now we wait. Ah. Okay, I don't know how long I can keep doing this. Eternal Empire going to be the first map. I don't know. Interesting. I'm in a weird mood today, but a fun mood, I would say, at least for me. Eternal Empire, Rogue versus Cure. I'm not quite sure what the entire map pool is going to be because it's in Korean, so it's a little bit of a secret for us. A little bit of a secret. We'll figure it out as we keep going. You would say, because then, how long have you been casting StarCraft 2? Shouldn't you know the names of the maps right now in Korean? As for some reason, most of your casting is involved with Koreans anyway. And I say, well, that's a good point. It is a good point. Valid arguments to make. Just not really one I would make with you, in a sense. Because, well, I clearly have a better understanding of the lacking of intelligence on my part, or just overall wit with when it comes to learning other languages. Oh man, you should have seen me in high school trying to learn French. It was a disaster, honestly. Like, you had to see the look of despair in the eyes of my French teacher. Oh my god, she hated me. Man, and I was just laughing. I just thought it was funny. Anyway. Now she uses me as an example student, of course, to any other students, being like, well, I mean, we once had this kid, calls himself Kozen now, and, well, instead of learning France, he's now not learning Korean on the internet, and making an absolute, you know what, little bit of a silly man out of himself. She probably puts it in more disruptive terms than that. I'm trying to kind of protect my own fragile ego here. You see, even English is difficult for me. Anyway, we need to wait a minute right now. Man, I don't know why, but I really made it awkward at the first couple of moments there, huh? I'm just kind of stuck with this feeling of awkwardness overall. That just is still seeping into the other things I'm doing. Although I feel like that's most of what I do with casting StarCraft. But, yeah, well. Well, people seem to be, sometimes some people seem to be appreciating it. What's up, Sushi? I'm glad you're here. Alright. So we need to wait a little bit longer Yeah. We're just gonna have to deal with it. I did some tweaking around with the overall lighting setup, and it looks to be working out all right. I do have a line of blackness over my face right now, though. Kind of makes me look like, you know, maybe David Bowie, right, with the lightning ball over his face. He has that, right? That's him, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, that's what I feel like right now. An absolute glam star. Glam star. And, yeah, alright. Looks like game 1 is starting up here. It's going to be 2 best of 5s and a best of 7 to boot as well, between the 2 winners, of course. I'm just hoping that Dongregu is gonna, you know what, give us a good match here versus S. But, you know what, I'm also hoping that Kyo gives us a good showing against Rogue. As Rogue overall, I mean, yeah, sure, he's the GSL reigning champion, but... I mean, did he go up against Rogue? Kyo in the best of 5? I don't think he did. So, did he? Did he though? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, top right side, Bluezerg, Chinek Green Wings, GSL champion, Rogue. Anyway, it's the opponents. Bottom left side, Red Terran. He is a dragon, a phoenix, and a gamer. He is Cure. A best of 5 for the ages, I would hope, I would say. If I were to say so myself, you know. Casters always like to a little bit hype up the overall excitement of a match here and there, and I will definitely jump on that board right now. On the boat, I guess. Jumping on a board's really not that good of an idea overall. Unless if it's like a skateboard, but even then, if you jump on top of a skateboard, wouldn't like the skateboard want to start rolling away? I never really see people jumping on skateboards as much as if they would jump from a skateboard back onto a skateboard. Maybe it's because it's not impressive to jump on a skateboard. That could be the reason why. So they don't videotape it as much. And that's why I don't see it. Because I don't hang around the skateboard parks. Because I'm very fragile. Alright, so, I mean, nothing too particular happening right here, guys. Just giving it a second, giving it a moment, waiting to see some, well, something interesting occur. Oh, right. Oh, well, never mind. Great cast, great cast. I had a lot of sleep. That might be the problem here. Energy is just flowing through me, right? Like Red Bull would through a 6-year-old. Yeah, 2 queens. 2 queens! Very cool, of course. You could just make the single queen, but that single queen doesn't really allow you to have the double lava injects afterwards as the follow-up. If you want to have the double lava follow-up, maybe also, well, even considering the possibility of spreading creep, of course, get yourself those creep tumors. Very essential to the overall process that is required for the Zerg to gain map control and overall vision. Not just the vision, of course, but movement speed as well. Look at those Zerglings! Oh my god, do they know how to dance! Alright. No creep tumors so far, just quite... Oh wait, no, there is one. There is one into the main base. I like this though, you know, having a little bit of connection between the main base and the natural base. It's like spreading the internet, right, from Europe to America. Remember those days when they like made a big cable to connect America to the European internet? Was that a thing? It must have been a thing at some point, right? I don't really vividly remember it, but it must be a point at some time, you know, where we didn't have a internet connected between Europe and America, and then we did. Unless if we just used satellites, that could be the case too, of course. And then there was that interconnectivity right from the get-go. So what we're seeing here from these 2 plates, let's dive right into it, alright? Let's silliness aside, there is a Liberator on the way. There's a couple of Hellions here with the Reaper as well. Trying to you know what, process some of those drones into drone meat. Good Overlord spreading here from Rogue, trying to keep an eye out on those pesky little fire trucks. Two Lings not participating with the fun circling activities here. Decided that they are too cool to nibble on a bunch of rocks. You can clearly see that, even circling sometimes. Oh, wait a minute. All right, he had to do that, guys. Don't worry about that. Cleaning up your own crew tumors is yeah, it's a thing you sometimes need to do, right? Because you want to build an Evo chamber right there to block off the entrance. All right, well, Overlord over here as well. Liberator, well, that is not a good thing to do, to start shooting the Overlord. I guess, well, now that you have already, you might as well try to finish it up. But that Overlord speed kicking in, and voila, to safety with the Overlord. And, yeah. Yeah, now we... Oh, this could be the first little bit of real damage. I say real damage, it's one drone that goes down. But it was trying to create a full space. So a little bit of a delay there. Yeah, which is always nice. Queen's now gonna have to try and push out here. There's not that much creep spread yet, is there? I don't know what came over Rogue here, but he has spread about 25 creep tumors in between his 3 bases. And outside anywhere else, there's not really anything. Oh, there's 2 Liberators here now. Ooh, Cure really, wow, you don't see this very often, right? You're gonna need 2 Spore Crawlers here, Rogue. That's kind of interesting. Oh, well, one of them did go down, so... I guess he only loses a queen and 3 workers. That's still a little bit of damage, of course. Still a little bit of overall splashing into the economy of the Zerg. He's still trying to kill off these rocks right now. It's always weird in a sense, right? When players they do one thing and then they do something that makes it look like they're doing the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Is he trying to make room for more Evo chambers? Is that what we're seeing? Yeah. He just doesn't like rocks. He's trying to add the rocks to his collection. Sorry, they're not rocks, obviously. They are minerals. Been watching too much Breaking Bad, thinking all rocks are minerals now. This is interesting. That's a pretty okay-ish trade, right? And we still have this stack coming in as well. Looking at those Mariners just rushing down the front door and cleaning up that little ever so precious creep that we had. Right now is accumulated, and we're back to this position right now again here. Rogue, I mean, I have to say, it feels like he's getting played with. It feels like he just, you know what? I feel like he's in trouble. Overall, he's making a lot of Zerglings right now. He's got a boatload, honestly. You know what? You might need 2 boatloads to really fill up, well, to have enough room for this amount of Zerglings. But, yeah, I mean, he's just not getting a lot of stuff done here, is he? Yeah, at least he did cancel this base, but it's going to get cancelled again for a 3rd time here. And while we have the 4 Widowmine drop coming into the natural base, I mean, at this base, Cure's going to be ahead of expanding overall above Rogue. And Rogue, I hate to say it, but I'm not seeing any type of response. Oh, wait, yeah, it does have a base over here. That is the base, of course. But I hate to say it, I don't really see a good response for Rogue so far just quite yet. I know he has a lot of links. That is true. That is true. He has a... alright work account, right? Would like to see like 10 more-ish, 10 more, 15 more, something like that ballpark. That would be nice. Really get it up there so you can replenish your forces as quickly as you want to, or at least as quickly as you probably would need to. And on the right side here, oh well, Liberator again. Ooh, 4 kills on that bad boy. Getting the Queen as well. There we go. No problem. No problem. Alright, Widowmines. Widowmines. Quick reaction from Rogue, but was it quick enough? Oh my god, those drones. 9 of them go down. And now there is the Mutalisk, so we'll have to wait and see. Oh, I love this from Rogue, though. I mean, Cure. Cure just spreading out everything. And, yeah, having those, you know, maybe a little bit of a shot there of keeping 1 or 2 Widowmines alive. Rogue too good, though, to let anything like that happen. Gets it together. Alright, so, as I was saying previously, I wasn't liking Rogue's position. It's getting a little bit better, right? It is getting a little bit better. Overall, we're seeing 16 workers only being killed off here. The overall units lost tab getting a little bit more equaled out. He is making himself a 5th base, right? As only now the 4th base of Cure here is coming up. As long as he kind of holds on against this army, he should be good. But, looking at those supplies, it's a little bit scary. It's a little bit scary. As long as he does, though, they should be pretty good. You know what he could also do, of course, is just run Italy into this this forefront. Oh my dear lord. You see, oh my god, he made Greece out of it now. Alright. The Italian circling formation. They were moving in the shape of Italy. I don't know if anybody else saw. Maybe it was the wrong way. Alright, so mirrored Italy formation. A true elite tactic. Only occurs with the best of circlators. Oh my god! Oh my dear lord. 19 workers dead with that one Widowmine there. Oh, that is rough. Oh, that is rough. Alright, so I was, as I was saying, Rogue really not in a good position here. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's a rough one. That's one of those Widowmine connections that if Rogue ever looks back on this replay, he's gonna have nightmares of this one. Man, I'm really liking Cure just overall being this aggressive continuously with the Widowmines. There's so much value you can gain overall with those reburrowing, and you know what, you continuously have them being stealth because you have the armory, no drilling claws even required. Although he has drilling claws anyway, right? So. And pretty darn cool to see it as a proper way of harassing. Now we'll be pushing up here as well. Where are those banelings? They are right over there. There is a lot of circlings. No, wait. Yeah, okay. They are coming in from behind as well. But you know what? Rogue, being the shrewd Zerg that he is, decides, let's just send everything from one side instead. And, well, it doesn't work. It doesn't quite work out just yet. The spreading for Cure really, really immaculate. And I am not really expecting this to turn out the right way here for Rogue at all. GG. Why? He was... I mean... He set up for a flank, right? And then he just kind of went back around the other side and was like, you know what I should do? I've seen some Zergs do this. Where they send everything from one side instead of the 2 sides, right? For a moment I thought I might want to send everything from 2... That was a weird one. That was a weird one. Maybe it was because there was a lack of creep. Maybe he thought there were a lot of Widowmines there and he didn't want to, you know, be bothered by continuously spreading on two fronts, trying to get rid of the Widowmine shots. That's a possibility, but honestly, that was a rough one. That was a rough one. Honestly, Cure looking like an absolute beast right there against the GSL champion. And being able to pretty much just blow Rogue out of the water. Is that a fair assessment? I think it might be. Oh, there we go. Ice and... wait, no, what? Eternal... Was that the warm-up game? Why are we in Eternal again? What's happening? What's happening here? Sushi? Why are we doing Eternal Empire again? Did I miss something? Alright, let me see my Discord messages. Maybe I did miss something. Okay, no I didn't. Huh. Did that really happen? Did I notice something that 2 GSL pros and a professional Korean StarCraft 2 organizer didn't notice? Really? Man, you know what? If I haven't felt great about myself in any point in my life, this is the moment. Oh my god. What a rush. Alright, anyway. I did message them, but they didn't see my message either, I suppose. Anyway, Isenchrome, second map right here. Must have been a mistake. Yeah, I guess so. Oh well. We're gonna get things started here on game number 2 with Kure having the 1-0 lead. Gonna be seeing what they'll be able to do this time around. Kure Blammo. Wait, oh, hold up. That was my mistake. Alright, here we are. Bottom left side of the map. There is a blue Zerg player. He is fighting for the Jinna Green Wings, and he is Rogue. The man that managed to make the finals an absolute joy to watch, right? The top right side, a red Terran player. Fighting for the Dragon, the Phoenix, and the Gamers. He is Kure. Imagine that, a coalition in some sort of a fantasy world where you have the dragons and the phoenix, but then also like a bunch of gamers together. fighting some other like dark elf and orc and dwarf coalition. I would like to see that. Alright, so well, after that first game, do we really see a proper shot here for Rogue? I mean, as long as he doesn't take as much damage in the early parts of the game, right? If he gets that actual 4th base up at some point, I think he might be okay. And this map right over here allows to facilitate a lot more so in that type of play overall. It's going to be a little bit easier getting that 4th base up. More distance means more time to prepare for any type of attack. Also means, you know what, overall it's going to be a little bit easier to secure more bases. All these things favoring Rogue, I would say. Kure, though, of course, he's no... we already saw it. He knows how to do the multi-pronged harassment. As soon as you're across the map, the distance between the bases doesn't really help you out anymore. As a defender, of course. It's actually a little bit of a... well, I guess the bases aren't that far apart internally, right? Already across the map. But certain things like, for example, over here, having a base over here and then into the main base, a lot of potential there for harassment. And, I mean, Kure, he is one of those players that if you are getting harassed by Kure on multiple locations, you're going to have to do a real good job at cleaning that up as quickly as possible. Otherwise, that is just going to be your downfall. And really what we were seeing there, Kure just relentlessly, absolutely demolishing any chances of setting up any type of economy there for Rogue. And, yeah, Rogue just falling apart, right? Some screws that need to be tightened, really not being tightened in time. That was funny. Fun to say. Screws being tightened, not tightened in time. It's almost like a tongue twister. Anyway. So, yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see now if Rogue will be able to kind of set those, make those stitches in his play, right? Really tighten up every notch, every bolt, and well, we'll be able to see whether or not he's gonna be able to withstand the aggression of Kure this time around. As Kure once again making those Hellions, which is pretty typical, right? I suppose you don't have to go very aggressive with them. You could just go for the creep denial, which is a nice thing as well. But we'll have to wait and see. Kure, though, having seen Kure play quite a couple of times, I would be anticipating quite a bit of aggression here and there. And, well, there we see the fusion cores. So, you know what? Color me pink and call me a little squealer. I don't know. Oh, Rogue trying to get the block there with the Evo Chamber. A little bit late, though, overall. And doesn't get that second Hellion. This is actually starting to get quite a bit heavy on the drone losses, though. 5 workers lost right now. And that Reaper's gonna get out as well. This is I'm sorry to say, guys, but I'm a little bit perplexed here. Maybe Rogue not quite taking this as seriously as the GSL finals. That could be the case, of course. I don't think anybody would blame him for that one. But yeah, definitely feels like he is letting some plays fall to the wayside where, you know what, you wouldn't be expecting Rogue to make certain, well, tiny errors or tiny lapses in overall judgments. Well, maybe just overall micro. Who won between DRG and Zest? Well, the thing is, was absolutely crazy. Craziest series I've ever seen. We had Zest and DRG, you know what, just man. It's hard to say even at this point in time. Like, it was over in a flash, honestly. Like, it's almost like it didn't even happen yet, really. Which is me saying it didn't happen yet. It hasn't started yet. We started off with Cure versus Rogue, and we'll be going into the other match after this one. I'm not quite sure why this is the reasoning. It must be, you know what, one of the players not quite making it here in time, and then these players already being available. So going ahead and starting with this series instead shouldn't make any difference. Alright, Battlecruiser coming in here, and that Spire, it's not done quite yet. I mean, I say not quite done yet, it's like barely even started up. And there's no Spore Crawlers here either. Rogue, I mean, again here, just kind of seeming to fall apart at, well, not very that uncommon overall. Terran aggression here is, oh my dear lord, these Hellions. Come on, Hellions. There's a very, very small amount of links, and they're actually all gone now. A lot of links in that production tab, but they're not here. They're not gonna be here in time. My dear lords, Rogue. I am feeling a little bit wary of his place right now. Oh my god, he keeps the drones here stocked up as well, so loses a bunch more. 19 workers just like that. 24 in total now in combination with the other drones that did go down by the previous Hellions and the Reaper attack. I guess Rogue now trying to get a bit of a counter aggression going. The Hellions not quite on their toes, but will be forced into action here. Saving 2 of them? Yeah, saves 2 of them. That's an alright trade. That's an alright trade. Still jumping into the micro there. Okay. For a moment, I thought, like, Rogue didn't make a Spore Crawler at his third base. Does he want to lose? Does he want... It's like, oh my dear lord. Oh, you gotta love this, though, from Kira as well. Deciding, you know what, if you're gonna keep moving that Spore Crawler around, I probably can just kill it. Another Battlecruiser here. That's a lot of Queens, though, making it a little bit more difficult, but again... losing quite a couple of them, and this is all coming down, of course, because he did lose that Spire there, so now he didn't really have a response to any of this. I think he really was banking on its, you know what, that Spire being ready, but at the same time, I also think he just didn't really anticipate the Battlecruisers here. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, counter aggression is coming in. I'm not quite sure how much it will get done, but there is still... Wait, what's that? What was... Alright, something was over there as well still. And yeah, even with these 12... Well, hold up, guys. Wait up. These Mutalisks not done yet. They still got some fight in them. Oh, loses one of them though, but you know what? Coming back around here, some Zerglings trying to nibble down the missile turret, so we'll be able to do some more damage here. Widow Mines though, gotta be careful. A Thor as well now coming in to help really secure the base of Cure here. And overall, I mean, you know what? Rogue doing a little bit of reverse damage here, right? Putting the game back on a little bit more of an equal footing overall. The one scary bit is that, of course, there's still quite a scary army over here for Cure with the Battlecruisers, the Thor, a couple of siege tanks. Those siege tanks really would love to see them get repaired as well, by the way, Mr. Cure. Don't worry about it. It's not like there's like deadly flying sausages in the air. They're trying to snipe anything that is low HP. Is he? You alright? Yeah, there we go. Thought for a moment he was going to go for the Thor instead of the tank there. but keeps everything up. Snipes it down. Other siege tank. Okay, also not getting repaired. This is a rough one. This is a rough one. We're just seeing more and more Mutalisk on that production tab right now. Mutalisk are a little bit of a point of contention. A lot of people are thinking that Mutalisk is just a very, very tough unit to deal with right now. But then again, a lot of the Terran players have been figuring out again as well how to kind of deal with them, right? We saw the Liberators kind of making their appearance, doing alright against them. We also saw the Liberators Widowmines. Bit of a resurgence in the Thor. Stuff like this. Helping out. Where's... Okay, there's the Widowmine. Oh, nice bit of damage. If those were 2 Widowmines right there, that would have been... Oh my dear lord. Quite something else. Cleaning off the refineries, of course, quite a big deal here for Mr. Cure, as he is trying to just kind of, well, get as much gas as possible right now. Seeing as he is going fully mech. You know what? I really like to see the Liberators back in action versus the Mutalisk. I remember, like, it always used to be the go-to response to Mutalisk, right? And then Mutalisk just wouldn't be able to do anything anymore right off the bat when the Liberators were released, and then they got nerfed a little bit in their anti-air attack. But I swear, if you get like a good 6 Liberators, I mean, those Mutalisk, they are very prone to stacking up. You will still be able to deal quite easily with them, or at least reasonably well. Oh dear lord, though, this is scary. Only has 3 of them. A lot of Thors, but the magic boxing occurring very nicely. How many Mutalisks did go down? 13 in total. But this is starting to ramp up overall, right? Cure starting to fall behind overall in the economy. He's falling behind in army size as well. As Rogue, behind this big ball of Mutalisk, is slowly getting himself into that hive tech as well. Infestation pit now on the way. Ooh, and this actually, you know what? We may just have... We may just not have enough anti-air here. This could be a problem. A couple more Widowmines instead of Hellions here, I think would have definitely helped out quite a bit. But instead, what we're seeing here is the Mutalisk just reigning supreme right now. Cyclones as well, I suppose. Alright, well, yeah, You can't have them all, though, of course. There is just a limited amount of resources that you have available. And GG. Alright, GG is called. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I thought Cure really in a perfect position there, right? Doing so much damage overall. And then just kind of falling apart. Kind of just, you know what? Suddenly Mutalisk and being like, oh, well, snap. That's a lot of Mutalisk. I don't know what to do against those. So, yeah. I wouldn't call it biting off too much than he could chew. It's more so just having his mouth closed as the fork is coming to his mouth and then everything falling on his shirt. Right? Chewing pre-having food in your mouth. That's what he did. That's what he did. That should be his saying. He chewed before I had food in his mouth. And he bit his tongue. Ah. Delicious milk. Alright. Pillars of Gold, game number 3. I'm kind of hoping that you know what? Cure again ramps it up. It's good for Rogue though, being able to take that game backwards, but honestly, I don't really feel like Rogue, you know, overall really should have won that one. No offense to Rogue, he's an amazing player, and it shows being able to dig himself a hole, well, out of that hole again, right? Finding a way, finding some sort of a situation where he was able to get back into that game and make it on equal footing, and then really guiding it into a victory. But ultimately, like, I mean, Cure, he should have had that one, right? If only he made a little bit of a quicker turn against the Mutalisk, right? A bit more aggressive on the anti-Mutalisk attack, he would have been perfectly fine. He would have had a blast, but instead, You know what, this man here in the bottom left side, the blue Zerg player from Jinair Green Wings. Rogue. Taking that game, the previous one. Alright, Cure going a little bit cheeky this time around. He's had enough, he's had his fill. In the top right side, the Dragon, the Phoenix, the Gamer. He is Cure. You all know what a Phoenix Gamer does, don't you guys? When he loses a game, he comes back up again and will try to chew down his opponent once more. This seems like an interesting location for this proxy Rex overall, right? Feels like a lot of the overlords would fly to the right side more often. Right, even if you kind of send it from here to that base, you're going to see it. And even if you... Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this is where it is. It hasn't been spotted yet. It's working out. So who am I to talk about it, you know? It's going to take a moment. Dum dum dum. A dramatic hamster effect. Spots the proxy Rex. Alright, let's see his response right here. Nothing just quite yet. Doesn't send any drones. Okay, sends 1 drone. Sends 3 drones. Sends all his drones. Right, yeah, as soon as that bunker comes up, this could be a whole boatload of trouble. A extremely Pandora box situation here. Okay, goes for the bunker here. A little bit easier to get the bunker instead of getting the... Oh god, there's 2 of them now. Oh dear lord, there's 2 of them now. Alright, 10 Zerglings are about to pop though. I guess 8 of them first and foremost, and then later on we're gonna go into the 10 numbers. But here we go. Okay, the Zerglings need to wiggle themselves in between the bunkers and the marinas. Needs to clean up those SCVs. Like I said, when those bunkers complete, this could be a whole troubled situation. And it looks like one of them will definitely get completed here. So, you know what? I'm already quite a little bit disturbed here. It's going to even be able to finish up the second one now as well. I think Rogue may have underestimated the amount of a bunker can do. But here we go. All right, targeting down the SCV in the backside. All the drones are being pulled. The Zerglings as well, trying to get rid of these bunkers. But 2 bunkers, that's a whole boatload of just overall health. And now we just have Marines here. Right, GG is called, and okay, Rogue falls down very quickly there. Not quite having the right response to the proxy Rex or the bunkers coming up. To be fair, it does become a whole different situation, right? In a very difficult one to deal with. A tricky problem to try and solve at that moment in time. In order to get rid of the bunkers or the Marines. That's the first question, right? Do you get rid of the bunkers? Do you attack the bunkers? Do you attack the first bunker? That's perfectly fine. Then he went for, you know what, back to mining for a moment. And that really gave an opportunity for Cure just to put down 2 bunkers, right? And never really a committal for Rogue to stop those Marines from getting into the bunker. As soon as they get into that bunker, that's when, basically, if you don't have a Ravager response or some sort of a Spine Crawler response, maybe even, right? I just feel like you're gonna go down. I just feel like that is a death sentence almost. Or with Banelings, you know, Banelings maybe, but that's also very expensive to do, and just overall doesn't work out always at all time. All right, anyway, guys, remember there is a Matcherino page as well, so go check out the Matcherino. It's just below in the link in the description. If you want to help out these players, if you want to help out us, try to check it out. Go into the overall code thingamajig, right? All you got to do is copy the code, put it in there. You don't even need to make an account. You can just log in with any account that is already available. Stats versus Rogue match fixed. I don't think so. No. I mean, honestly, in GSL finals. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I think, you know what, the overall example made of the Zerg that we can't name anymore. I highly doubt it, honestly. Alright. In the top right side of the map, there is a blue Zerg. Fighting for generic green wings. Rogue. Bottom left side, red Terran player, the dragon, the phoenix, a gaming individual. He is Cure. I think Rogue is just one of those players that suddenly ramps it up to 11. Whenever he's like in a very, very tight situation, a very important match, stuff like this, suddenly he just really, really ramps it up, right? One of the matches where there's a lot of accolades on the line, right? You're going to be getting a lot of recognition if you win this match right here, the best of 7 in the GSL finals, and Rogue is one of those players that will just step it up. He'll be willing to take the risks necessary, and just overall a great player to see in those situations. Sometimes though, when he's not in those situations, you can feel a little bit lackluster. It's like trying to see, you know, if you're watching Messi play, but then he, instead of like playing in a big good old massive football match, right? Where the title is on the line, it's a little bit of a street ball with his children. Also, well, not saying that Cure is like, you know, not good at StarCraft, but overall, there's just not as much on the line here for matches like these. It's a little bit of nice bucket change, right? Overall, that's for sure. But yeah, it's not gonna really be as overall impactful as gaining another GSL title and stuff like this. Right. Thank you, sushi. But anyway, here we go again. Reaper boy. Don't fear the Reaper. Unless if you're a Ling, or a drone, or a queen, or a creep tumor, or... well, mostly a Ling without speed, I suppose. Or a Ling with speed near the edge of a cliff. That's still a problem. Reaper here, I think it may have been able to scoot outside of that vision. The Overlord should have seen it leave though, so Rogue is aware that it should be somewhere here. And great overall awareness for our blue Zerg. Yep. May lose this one. Ooh, real close. Okay, we'll be able to keep that scouting going. If he wants to.
Command center upgrade complete.
Okay, doesn't quite know yet about that third base. It did get started very early on, so maybe he's just assuming that it's there. It's always good to kind of, yeah, double check. There we go. And we're seeing the same game, well, the same game plan overall here from Q as we saw in game number 1, Eternal Empire. There's the Liberator on the way. There's the Hellions on the way. Can we just mention as well, by the way, that is the... like, there's a couple of maps, right? Which I always thought, overall, would favor Terran. Submarine, very small map, very close together. The pushes of Terran, usually, right? That's what everybody at least tells me, that favors Terran overall. Those smaller push locations. But... a lot of the time, in a lot of these matches, I don't see Terrans in TVC picking those maps all that often. I still see Terrans very often picking Ice and Chrome, Eternal Empire, Everdream. You know what? These bigger maps that facilitate a lot of macro overall, and that's what I'm seeing a lot of these overall Terrans do. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. Just trying to send out false advertisements to Zerg players, making them think that, you know what, certain maps are Zerg favorites, when in fact, those Terrans love to play on those maps themselves. Slight bit of harassment. Right, this is annoying to deal with, isn't it? Gonna have to send in that Spore Crawler here, but the Hellions Actually making this a little bit of a tricky thing to do. Nice positioning there from Cure. Good micro, but also nice run around with the links. Just barely, not quite enough there to really stop those Hellions from moving forwards. Great micro overall from Cure. Will he actually commit here as well? I wouldn't like to see it, but you know what? Some of these plays sometimes they're required to have a little bit more balls than I have myself. And you know what? We're 5 minutes in, and we're still only like one single creep to out, creep spread wise, right? Even here, like on all these sides over on the both sides, the Hellions, okay, will come in here, get caught by the Lynx, and nice around there, losing a couple of the drones, nothing too horrendous. 10 in total. Well. You know, it's not a great position, of course, here for Rogue overall. Losing those drones, losing the creep. But I don't think it is a unsalvageable position here by any stretch of the imagination. We've seen this as well in game number 2? Game number 2, yeah, the one that Rogue did win. Going for a lot of Mutalisk and just flooding the skies with the sausages of death. It's a big stim actually there from Cure. Really doesn't want these links to gain access, obviously. Which Terran would. Maybe a Terran that's secretly trying to, you know what, just Kerrigan himself. And become the queen, the next Queen of Blades or King of Blades. I suppose it would be the King of Knives, right? That would be a lot. It sounds a lot cooler. The King of Knives. Has a better ring to it. Yeah, I don't think this should do absolutely everything, but you know what? Still doing quite a bit. Cleaning up 2 queens right here. Still denying a lot of creep again. But Rogue is starting to really get that green, well, the green goo, the purple goo spread out a little bit more so. Starting to get somewhere. There's still certain locations, of course, like over here. There's a good lacking of creep on this side as well, but overall doing okay on that department. We'll have a little bit of a highway here to have engagements going, but it's not that far out, of course. So Cure doesn't need to siege up on these sides over here to really get this ball rolling into his favor right now. Especially like we mentioned before on this 4th base location here, not that much creep. And already, I mean, we have these siege tanks right on the edge of the creep, but only a couple of creep tumors and Lemo, that is all of it gone now. We'll be able to really push this this hatchery here without having to worry about too much creep. There is a little bit of a Ling run by occurring here. A couple of workers did go down, 12 of them to be precise. Here we go, Banelings getting some, well, small overall quality connections. There's still a lot of Marines right there in the back, and I don't think Rogue was expecting those. And more Marines coming in as well. The siege tanks may have gone down, but overall, without the help of more Banelings, this base under a lot of pressure right now. The Marines coming in, and Rogue realizing he doesn't have anything to deal with those Marines. GG is called, and Cure takes the best of 5. We'll be able to move on through, and he's going to go up against whether it be DRG or Zest. Not really a massive macro game here in any stretch of the imagination, unfortunately. But you know what? Some pretty solid early game play there from both competitors. Rogue just taking a little bit too much early on pressure, and really I do think a lot of it came down as well to just the overall creep denial, right? Rogue not being able to capitalize on certain positions that Cure was taking. Or, you know what, overall, prolong the advancements by being in... I just spit all over the microphone. By being in in front of creep and then having to deal with that, right? So he would be delayed a lot more so if he would have to siege up, try to deal with the creep, move a little bit forward, siege up, creep deal, and then, you know, even if there's like 2 creep 2 miss out in front, that on its own already makes a massive difference. And unfortunately, we just didn't have that available there for Rogue because Kyo was just absolutely on his case 24/7 during that match. So, well played by Kyo. A well-deserved victory. And, yeah, we're going to be moving on with the second best of 5. I just want Protoss to win something for once. They always seem to choke in finals. Yeah, it's a difficult one, right? Because Protoss at the, you know, overall time, they're a race that is really about kind of tricking your opponent in a way, right? So, I guess some Protosses play it in a different way overall. But you want to be able to surprise your opponents playing Protoss. And I suppose making something as coming at a surprise is beneficial in any matchup. But Protoss is the race that most heavily favors that kind of playstyle overall, because they do have that possibility of going into multiple different types of tech routes that are extremely efficient against a lot of other things. And you know what, in these bigger matchups, right, best of 7s, best of 9s, how often can you realistically, you know, surprise your opponent in that sense? You're gonna have to prepare a lot of strategies overall, and yeah, you know what, surprising your opponent twice in a best of 3, I think that's more doable than surprising somebody 4 times in a best of 7, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I don't know. Just wait for Estrella and Sound. I think that's a good point too. Like, I know I'm a massive Estrella fanboy, so take it with a grain of salt. But overall, Estrella's playstyle with Protoss, I very much enjoy watching that. It's always a great joy overall, just seeing him bring out the best, you know, of that race overall with ways that, you know what, people are experimenting with overall, right? Whether it be run-bys, more so heavily favoring the gateway tech. Kind of Terran-esque almost, right? Being kind of sticking more so on bio in certain locations to get that mobility and facilitate certain hit squads, guerrilla type of tactics. Sound qualified for GSL. Let's wait for these games. Yeah, true. Again, Sound, I mean, he's doing well. He is doing well. Probably not as original as Estrella, I would say. He's a really strong competitor, Sound. Of course, don't get me wrong. But you know what? He reminds me a lot more of other Protosses out there rather than someone as Estrella in a sense. So I don't know. I would like to see more Protosses trying to kind of incorporate different playstyles into their play as well, because they are a race, like I mentioned, that really favors overall trying to surprise your opponents. And the more type of different playstyles you have, the more surprises you can bring, right? If you suddenly go more favoring a gateway kind of tech, right, with Blink Stalkers, Zealots and stuff like that, then you know what, you have another little tool in your arsenal to incorporate with timing attacks and stuff like that. And then, you know what, if you are one of the players that doesn't just do timing attacks a lot of the times, right, maybe 80% of the time, suddenly those timing attacks might become, you know what, just overall pack a bit more of a punch, I would say. You gotta be the full package, right? You gotta be able to bring it all. You gotta be able to turn something around. Anyway, guys, we're waiting a little bit here as the vetoes are taking place. It looks like we already have done that. But anyway, guys, take a look at this little thing over here. Just for a quick moment in time, and we'll be right back.
You can visit the Match Arena page for our event and contribute in many different ways. 1. Free coupon. Click Contribute, enter the specified coupon code to contribute a predetermined amount of money to the prize pool. 2. Free sponsor quests. On the right side of the screen are various actions supported by sponsors, including retweets, Twitter follows, surveys, among other things. Click into these boxes to complete the action and add the attached prize contribution to the pool free of charge. 3. Marketplace. Products are available in our marketplace, which also contribute to the fundraising pool. Be sure to check out the variety of apparel and collectibles, as well as other unique items. 4. Donate. Clicking on the Contribute button, you're able to add funds to your Matcherino wallet and then directly contribute them to the fundraiser page. Thanks for supporting your event with Matcherino.
Hello! What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. We haven't started yet. I was hoping to come back into the game and immediately have something to talk about. But anyway, what you just saw, of course, was the Matcherino stuff. So if you want to contribute to this event in particular, of course, we're promoting right now. There's a lot of overall Matcherino stuff going on at the same time for ITaX. But right now, this one is the most important one. The link being, you know what, sent into the chat right now by Sushi. So yeah, check it out. Just click on it, log in, add the codes, contribute. And you know what, if you feel like you have a little moment of time extra as well, do a couple of quests. The quests are very important to do, mainly because, you know what, that's where Matcherino gains a lot of their money from, right? The more interaction they have with those quests, the more likely it will be advertisers are going to be, you know, thinking to themselves, we're like, oh, all right, so we can actually gain quite a bit of value overall of investing into StarCraft 2, right? Because it's not just Matcherino in that sense that benefits, but also because Matcherino is linked in a almost physical kind of sense to StarCraft 2. These companies, right, they have to particularly say, all right, we want to be associated with StarCraft 2 as an event. So the more quests we do for these guys, right, on these pages, the more interaction they see in return for their investments, and the more likely it is that StarCraft 2 gains more of a return as well, right? It helps the scene overall, guys. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Wait, iSync All right, yeah. I'm sorry. We're in the next best of 5. I thought we made another mistake. That was my mistake. Making the mistake that we made a mistake. You've ever done that before in any situation? That's embarrassing. All right. Here we go. Top right side, the blue Zerg player from the Afrika Freaks. He is DRG. Bottom left side, the red Protoss. He is from Razor Edge Gaming. He is Zest. Let's see. Stats rarely loses when he just expand and defend, then overwhelm his opponents. Yeah, that is definitely his playstyle overall. It really is. It's a solid playstyle. He knows how to play it very well. The thing is, you know what? A team like Gina Greenwings, it's definitely going to invest into overall figuring out that playstyle and then figuring out ways how to just overall absolutely bully the everlasting bananas out of you. In a sense. It was overall, right? The finals. I think the most exciting part for me was overall that we had like this final bastion of the Gina Greenwings players, right? This team that has been dominant for such an incredible long time, by such a large stretch of overall dominance, right? It was insanity how dominant Gina Greenwings was for a long time, and suddenly Afrika Freaks just picking it up, taking on under their wings a lot of great players, and suddenly, you know what, having this surge in power, and they had a lot more players overall in the final players that were remaining in the GSL. And then, you know, we had a final between one of the Afrika Freaks players and one of the Gina Greenwings players, and just overall, that idea, right, it kind of felt like, are we seeing a new page in history actually being turned over right now, where suddenly Gina Greenwings have maybe lost their overall dominance over the scene, having the Afrika Freaks kind of taking that you know what, picking up that flag, that verbal flag that was dropped by the Jinak Green Wings. And then, no, we did not. Ultimately, just a little bit, you know what, I think we still have now the overall story of there being a rivalhood between these two teams. But that was to me one of the cooler things in that entire finals overall. Just that story being built up by between those two teams. It's a little bit reminiscent of you know, overall Team Liquids and Evil Geniuses back in the day when we had those two teams just overall going at one another. And I think, you know, overall to help out StarCraft 2, that would be a great way to kind of really boost the popularity, especially in in Korea and such, right? To really go in deep about the overall rivalhood of these two teams. I think that would be a good, cool way to get those things going. Oh, nice sketch there, DRG. You know what? On the ball there. Well, on the Adept, I should say. The Adept ball. Zest going for the Dark Shrine right now. Heading into more gateways as well. It's a War Prism here. Of course, we all know Zest is the player that does the Adept aggression continuously. Let's see if he will be scouted out here. Imagine the Overlord flying in and then just seeing the Twilight Council being like, alright, okay, I know what's coming up. Moving backwards. Only later on realizing his fatal flaw. Now, to be fair, DRG, this is something that we've, like the last time I saw these two play, a very cool thing about these two being matched up is that Zest really one of the players that, well, actually the player, right, that made the Adept Glaive attack the most common used thing overall by Protoss in a long shot for a long time period. And DRG, even though he went away for a long time, is the player that kind of made it a very, very doable, right, thing to defend. So, in a sense, you're watching the old guard of the players that came up with, well, the player that came up with the way how to attack Zerg and how to keep them on their toes, while we're watching the man that came up with the best, solid, most efficient way to defend against this. And now we're seeing a little bit of a mix, of course, with the, instead of the Adept, we're having the Dark Templar come in here, maybe catching DRG off guard. Unfortunately for Mr. Zesto, DRG was prepared, did still get himself those Spore Crawlers, which is the normal part of this build overall. And yeah, it's just cool to see these two guys in that overall idea going up against one another and seeing who's the better player in either executing or defending. Well, and with executing, I mean, of course, executing the offensive. What happened to the Spore Crawler here? That used to be a Spore Crawler here, I'm pretty sure. Did it get moved up onto the high grounds? I believe it did. Oh, well, it gets 3 worker kills. Not that horrendous. It's pretty nice, actually, I suppose. But yeah, DRG more so favoring the anti-air here onto that high ground into the main base. Spore went into the main. Yeah. It's a weird one. Wondering why he... Well, I guess it does stop the War Prism from just continuously moving back and forth between locations. Even though there isn't the base there yet. Single probe falls. Zest the macro... Well, not the micro monster, not the macro monster. Finding those links still with the War Prism. Okay. There is the 4th base on the way. Templar Archives here for Zest. I'm kind of curious to see whether or not there will be a 4th base for Zest right now, as we see a lot of gateways on the production +1 about to finish up, as well as Blink. So just gonna start to try and move across the map here with some sort of a timing attack, or we're just gonna be seeing him trying to stats it out and ramp up the overall economy of his and complete his tech tree. Okay, we do have Storm now as well being created, so I do believe we will have ourselves a fourth base eventually here from Zest. There it is. Lynx and Roaches, Ravagers coming in at the right time. Immediately regretting his his decision to make that fourth base. I did tell him to, but unfortunately this is quite a big aggression here for DRG. It looks like it will actually be quite a bit of a handful for Zest to try and deal with this. The Cybercore goes down, so no more Stalker's going to be able to get warped in, which is an absolute necessity to try and hold off something against this. The Zealots are being utilized now, but they don't have charge. So this is an, you know what, overall the Zealots without charge, my dear lord, is there a unit that's worse than that? Probably there is, but I just can't think of one right now. I guess the Zergling without speed. That is a little bit worse. Alright, the War Prism here as a scouting tool, a scouting mechanism. The Storm nicely landing on the Ravagers. The units that are the most squishy to the Storm damage right here. Oh, needs to dodge. Oh, didn't dodge in time. What a shame. And now we see DRG moving, you know what, into the Mutalisk tech. He's still going to apply this pressure as much as he can, as he does have a fifth base on, behind this on the way as well. It looks like Zest just, overall his pressure, the build-up in the start of this match didn't do enough to stop DRG, and just took more of a toll out of Zest himself, trying to apply that pressure himself. He did defend for now, but I am still very, very worried for him, as he didn't quite manage to deal with the army of DRG quite yet, right? It's still there, it's still a threat, and we're seeing a transition already taking place as well right now. And with this army of DRG, I mean, now into the main base, those Mutalisks, that's a lot of Stalkers. But yeah, he's gonna have to figure out a way to appropriately deal with this multi-pronged harassment now for DRG. DRG coming into the third base and the fourth base as well. Mutalisk is shooting down more of those probes and putting Zest further behind, economically speaking. Now Zest, of course, this time around does manage to deal with the Roaches and the Ravager army. So maybe this may be a little bit of a moment in time where Zest can actually get some work done across the map here. We're seeing mostly Zerglings right now on that production tab. Only a single Archon available though. As soon as that gets Magic Box, this could very well be the end. The Storm is on the way though. The Storm needs to be absolutely massive here. Definitely does provide a good blanket of a defensive force here. And those Mutalisks need to remove themselves from that situation. Oh my dear lord, Baneling Speed is not completed yet. DRG, this may be his final stance here. If he doesn't manage to get good connections, and the Mutalisk, you know what, they do get rid of that Archon, but ultimately there's still quite a lot remaining here for Zest. Zest, has he done it? Just barely squeezing out a victory here with a couple of units remaining, making Archons. Yes, he does. GG it's called. Zest scrapes on by here, just holds on to that offensive there from DRG, and manages to get himself the victory with the extreme amount of force, just pushing backwards immediately. And you know what, that was a close one. That was definitely a close one. You have to wonder, I mean, DRG, did he have to continue on that aggression, right? He made sure that that fourth base was just denied multiple times on multiple occasions. And yeah, he felt the need to throw away all those Roaches, all those Ravagers on the top side of the bases, right? It wasn't a necessity to do it. I suppose he was trying to free up supply to transition himself into the Zergling Baneling Mutalisk composition, but ultimately that backfired quite heavily. He didn't have the time, he didn't even have Baneling speed yet, right? So that transition just not properly executed, and making him just kind of slip on the ice right there, and the chrome, both very slippery surfaces. And yeah, well done there. Well played by Zest, finding that opportunity. And it's a little bit unfortunate that the execution for DRG left a couple of things in ones, you know, in a sense. I think that is fair to say, right? I think that is fair to say. I don't think he would disagree with overall that the transition point there wasn't properly executed by DRG. Just missing the timing there a little bit. It's a righteous shame, but anyway, Zest taking game number 1, so you know what? If you're a Protoss fan, that is a good thing in that sense. Bloody Protoss. Bloody Protoss. No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Zest is one of those players that is just always, every single time, as he does well, it is just so much fun to watch this man. In the bottom left side, a red Protoss. Why? Okay, never mind. Sometimes I'm like, what is happening? But that is just the pro blocking the hatchery right there. In the bottom left side, a red Protoss fighting for victory here. Another point on the board, perhaps. Only 2 wins required at this moment in time. Raise your edge, gaming. He is Zest. His opponent right here in the top right side, a blue Zerg fighting for the Afrika Freaks. He is DRG. Getting his hatchery delayed here a little bit. Just a smidge. That's right, we will be casting the GSL qualifiers as well with the one and only GSL Bald Guy. So, you know, there's no better overall combination than the GSL and the GSL Bald Guy. Mr. Creighton himself, he's going to be showing up on the Afrika TV stream. And he's, I'm certain, going to give you all one hell of a show to watch. And just an overall good time. And does this top of the hatchery look like something weird to you? This is, there's also steam coming out, making it look even a little bit more disturbing overall. Anyway. I'm pretty sure people already mentioned this. Yeah. So yeah. What time are you guys casting the matches? I think it is 16 GMT time. Which would be what is it? 18 CEST. I believe there's 2-hour difference right now between those two places, so something like that. Something around that ballpark. Go check out the Twitter tweet thingamajig, and it should tell you the exact time and dates this will be taking place. And yeah, should be good. Should be good. The one sad thing to me is that, of course, it's not being broadcast live overall, but in a sense, this gives the opportunity to then just really broadcast most of it as you aren't delaying the matches, because you are trying to just broadcast everything live in that sense. Alright. Mr. Adept coming on in. Where are those links this time around? We'll not be getting the surround of a lifetime. Not 2 times in a row at least. As that did occur in the previous one, of course. 6 PM CEST tomorrow. Might be a little bit late for Asia. But you can always watch the VODs. That's right. I mean, it's better than just not having those qualifying matches available at any point in time. I mean, it's a little bit similar, I suppose, to Olimo League and stuff like that, right? As well as they, in a sense, are also showcasing a lot of these players that just barely can't scrape the surface of the GSL Code S. But overall, still pretty darn good. If there are any old fans following GSL qualies, why are people so curious about Coca playing? Well, he's a cool player. I don't know. I don't know exactly myself. You know, losing to Protoss all the time lately. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Inno and his TVP, it used to rely a whole boatload on the overall early aggression, right? The 2 base timing attacks, and the 2 base timing attacks just became a lot worse overall due to the shield battery overcharge. Protoss got a lot better at utilizing the shield battery overcharge, protecting it, not letting it get gunned down immediately. And trusting that the shield battery will keep them up and floating as well. Alright, anyway, guys, we're seeing a big commitment here for Zest into the aggression right now. A lot of adepts. The glaives is just now finished up. The adepts trying to get themselves into the main base. Will not be completing that shade though. And behind this, the cheeky little bugger making a Dark Shrine as well. Will be utilizing that in this offensive too. And as we see, there's no Spore Crawlers here whatsoever. So the Adept Glaives really making it just completely go into the favor here for Zest in a sense, right? There's still a little bit of a moment in time where this may not work out, of course, as they are, you know what, Dark Templars. They still need to do a bit of damage here. But it is looking rather amazing here so far for Zest as he's coming into the main base. Now suddenly revealing 3 Dark Templar here. And that's going to be one hell of a headache for DRG to have to deal with suddenly. A lot of those links not quite getting the traits they want against those depths either, as the Dark Templar now running into the mineral line here. Oh, right on top of that Spore Crawler. If he gets that Spore Crawler, it's getting rather close here. I think he may be able to get it before it will be completed. Oh, that was so close. And GG, just like that. Zest takes another game here. Making more Dark Templar. The Dark Templar game number 1, not quite making it work. But this one, though, you know what? Right? Another little bit of a cloak and daggers kind of thing. Setting up one offensive. And behind it, immediately following it up with the Dark Shrine, a tactic we have seen before from Zest, and just overall making it, you know what, making it work out beautifully. DRG trying to cut a corner, and yeah, that one corner did cost him the game ultimately. Not making those Spore Crawlers, it can be extremely lethal. You need to have them overall, otherwise that is just going to fall apart. Come on, DRG, win one game. We need them to win one game, don't we? At least one of them. Gotta be a cannon rush to round the series out. Yeah, I guess you're right, actually. We have been seeing a lot of cannon rushes from Zest recently. Especially, we recently had this best of 9 with Zest versus Solar. And I think Zest did like 4 times a cannon rush. Yeah, I think like four matches out of the... What was it, like 8 or 7 that were played? He did a cannon rush. 3 of them failed. All the first 3. Straight up an absolute disaster. 4th one finally works. And he stops cannon rushing. He's like, alright, I need my 1 victory here with a cannon rush. And then I'm going to be able to live with myself. And, well, he kept trying until it worked out. But, yeah, Solar definitely did take that series overall. Maybe Zest just trying to get a bit of practice in with cannon rushing overall, right? Incorporating another way to deal with this. Alright. Maybe he was late for his dentist appointments. Yeah, something like that. I mean, it was a little bit like seeing Innovation play in, and you know what, him just wanting to play League of Legends instead. That's the big common meme in Korea, right? Where they're like, you know what, he's just winning the series very quickly. He just wants to play League, guys. That's all he wants to do. His brother is waiting for him to play League with him, and that's, you know what, he's got that responsibility. We'll just have to wait for the next time they're playing. All right. Looking for the next one right here. Game number 3 already on match points here for Zest. Just absolutely light speed through this series so far. At least we still have a best of 7 behind this as well. You're waiting for that one. To see who is going to be victorious in this situation here. Oh, there we go. The bottom left side. A blue Zerg. Fighting for the Afrika Freaks. He is Dong Ray Go. Top right. There is that red Protoss. Now we all know and love for his cheeky stuff. His exceptional builds overall in the early game. He's none other than Raise Your Edge Gaming. Zest. Forge, come on. Ah. Like, at first I was disappointed that Zest was doing cannon rushes all the time, and now I want to see him make more cannon rushes. I'm very curious to see how far he can take the cannon rush in a sense. I just want him to turn into a cannon rushing player overall. And then maybe do some creative stuff overall, right? Because Zest is a very creative guy, very good with making builds work and making them, you know, refining them, coming up with his own stuff. I'm certain if he keeps doing cannon rushes, he's going to be able to have all sorts of weird follow-ups that just throw his opponents for an absolute loop. Once again, did go for the hatchery block though. So very likely that this will be another Twilight Council build. No guarantee, but it is quite a possibility here. There it is. There it is, that Twilight. Honestly, surprised TRG is 0-2 already. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I think I am as well, man. I am as well. Zest, he hadn't been showing that great of a performance recently, but he's been doing it again. He's been zesting it up. Making us all once again remember why we are all so afraid of this fella. Why he's always one of the... You know what? The Protoss is just mainly considered as one of the best, if not the best, at certain points in time. I mean, sure, we had stats have his resurgence in the GSL this season, but maybe after Zest realizing, you know what, if he goes down against Rogue in a fashion like that, I need to step up my game again. I need to retake the mantle and just overall proclaim once more that I am the way for the Protoss to move forwards. You gotta love it. You gotta love it from from Zest, the overall absolute amount of damage that he is able to continuously bring into the matchup here. I love this position of the Dark Shrine. That did not get scouted here. Very, very close, but just not quite working out there for DRG just yet. Needs to figure out that there is that Dark Shrine, or just needs to get himself the Spore Crawlers this time around. Not cut those corners. It is very, very important that he does figure this out. Okay, there we go. There's the Spore Crawlers this time around. Not falling for that good old same trick. As this is just straight up into the Dark Shrine. It's not even first going for the Adept Glaives and then the Dark Shrine. No, it is in fact straight up immediately into that Dark Shrine. Here we have the first Dark Templars right now being created. As long as that Spore Crawler stays up here around the area with enough Queens, this should be good. Already losing one of them. Man. That's a lot of damage already, of course. 125 gas. Gas doesn't grow on trees, guys. It does not grow on trees. I'm not quite sure where it comes from either, but I'm pretty sure it's not from trees. I hope. Imagine the fool I would be if there's just that big old tree underneath all these Vespian geysers. A Vespian tree. has one harvest, and then if you fully harvest the tree, it becomes useless. I like this positioning overall from Zest, right? When he's making these Archons, he never does it in a place where he can get himself surrounded by Zerglings. This is something you do see quite a lot from other Protoss overall, where they get a little bit cocky, in a sense. Right? They're just like, alright, well, let me just make this Archon. And sometimes it works, right? Because there's not just a bunch of Zerglings running around, but pro players such as DRG, he will be scouting out and looking around on the map with those links to find those Archons in transition, and then be able to, you know what, pick some of them off if you don't have them in a good position here. Get some creep tumors. Get some queens. Actually, we'll get 2 queens here. Wow, okay, that's a bit of a waste for DRG, right? Under a lot of pressure, I suppose. The 2 the 2 Archons and a Dark Templar there at the top as well. He's trying to do a bit of counter aggression too, but there's the Zergling's most hated enemy, the Adept right there between the minerals. It's nothing worse than an Adept between minerals for a Zergling, except for an Archon, I suppose, between minerals. Let's get the cancel. Forces it here on the top side. The Zerglings with the Overseer trying to... Oh, nice hold position there. Trying to catch it still. He's doing a really cool job here. And should be able to get it. There we go. Lovely little bit of micro there. Will not let that Dark Templar go unpunished for his crimes against Zergmanity. Zergmanity. That's actually... That would be a fun name for an account. The Manatee of Zerg. Zergmanity. It's like humanity, but then it's for Zergs, you know, it's the Zergmanity. The Dark Shrine is pretty building and actually has 3 heads on it. Yeah, I know. Wasn't it Zombie Grub that told everyone? Like, yeah, you look at this. There's heads over here, and then over there as well. 3 heads. Anyway, DRG, he is committing now, just making more and more Zerglings behind this as well. Just a single drone as well as the Hive Tech and the Lurker Den, but it does definitely seem like he needs to do quite a bit of damage with a committal like this. He kills off a cannon. Great job. Moves out of there. Mission accomplished. Huh. And goes back to drones. Okay. Just a little bit of a poke there. It's a weird one because it does feel like he's just not as far ahead on the workers as he could be, right? I mean, he's actually behind on the workers there for a little bit. Alright. Alright. More of the Stalkers. This could be a good opportunity for Zest once again to make his counter-attack work out. I don't think DRG is anywhere familiar with the location of Zest's forces right now. Immediately comes in, snipes down everything that's not nailed down into the ground. Or, you know what, actually is nailed into the ground and incapable of running away. A big surround here for DRG trying to be set up, but I don't think he has enough stuff here to really make it work, even with a big surround. And the force fields in particular really making this even worse for him. Alright, does get an immortal for free. That's a little present from Mr. Zest here to Mr. DRG. Might as well. Alright, 1 Archon there, just barely staying alive for the price of a great amount of links there. DRG still trying to take the trades here, I suppose. I mean, it's not going absolutely horrendous for him just quite yet, and I suppose he does need to stop this army from just moving away after killing off his base just like that for free. But yeah, I mean, I just don't see this going into DRG's favor at this moment in time until he might have those lurkers, right? That is the missing piece right now in his composition. But will he be able to get those in time before this fight just goes so one-sided into Zest's favor that he's going to be able to kill off any amount of lurkers that are still capable of being produced here by DRG. Zerglings there. There's only shield batteries available actually at this base, so this might force a big retreat for Zest. He's actually spreading out with those stocks as well, blinking onto the low ground. Okay, Lurkers now available, ready to facilitate a proper defense here. Oh, those force fields really proving their worth as well, though. I mean, is Zest overextending here on those Lurkers? Doesn't look like it. He's actually taking them down. He's taken quite a beating at home as well, but definitely gonna dish out a good, worthy punch as well for the price of those probes. Cleans up another base. Gonna be able to, I think, clean up this base here as well. 3 more Lurkers on the way. They're about to be ready, but yeah, without any real support there. And nothing in between the Lurkers and the Protoss army. I don't think it's gonna be working out that well. Blinking a little bit too aggressively forwards, but I don't think it matters. GG is called. Zest takes 3 games in a row, just like that. No problem, no sweat. And Zest will be moving up into the finals, the best of 7. Going to be fighting against Cure there, who was waiting to see who was going to be victorious. I mean, Zest, very dominant there. Cure also was incredibly dominant. It just doesn't seem to be a good time for Zerg here today. Unfortunately, even though we have DRG and we have Rogue, right? The GSL champion and the greatest Zerg human being of all time. I mean, it's nuts. Except for Cyril, I suppose, and Raynor, but DRG pretty darn close to 3rd place there in my book. At least my little fantasy Zerg fan book. That is something I shouldn't talk about right now. Alright. Well, we're gonna get those guys together, and let's just give them a second. I'm gonna quickly take a quick little second as well to have something to drink, as we're gonna be watching the some messages from our sponsors. Well, not messages. We're gonna watch the play of the day, sponsored by our message. Sponsored by our message. Sponsored. It's sponsored by the sponsor. No, just look. All right, never mind. Oh God, I'm bad at this.
Only a couple ghosts though. 3 ghosts in the army of Kibion right now. It's not enough. It's not enough. Caustic Spray is doing so much damage for Ragnarok, and here we go. Ragnarok ready to engage. Gonna catch actually a really nice place here for Kibion, but oh man, the neuroparasites from the backside. Ragnarok neuroparasites every Thor, and with 4 Thors still neuroparasited, Ragnarok is gonna close things out. 2-0. G. What a game.
On the other hand, we do see a bunch of Zerglings being produced here for Ragnarok, looking to be an aggressive across the map. Now, Zan, on the other hand, he hasn't built any much production buildings. He's added an extra gateway, but is that going to be enough again? Oh my God, he's even pulling the boys.
Oh, and drones go past at that scene. The wall up. This is crazy. Ragnarok getting so much damage already. Rogues going down left and right. The pylon will go down as well. GG got scored. Nothing down.
Oh my God.
All right, nice. There you have it. Play of the days, brought to you by Strive and G Fuel. Absolutely amazing, amazing companies that, you know what, should be thanked from the bottom of our hearts for supporting AlphaX. Without our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do this kind of stuff. Nor would we be able to do it through, well, without the help of all the viewers, of course, all the people watching, all the people that do contribute overall their supports and overall eyeball time to what we're doing here. You guys are the best, and I'm just happy to be a part of it as well. Incredibly overall thankful, just to get the opportunity here. Anyway, guys, they're not done yet with the Fidos. I just made it a little bit awkward, and now it's like, well, now we're just sitting here. overall. You know what? I got some raisins. Tasty. As we're waiting. We should have, you know, I like with baseball, you have the peanuts. Like you always get a sack of peanuts or a sack of nuts. I don't know what they call them in the US, but and then like with American football, I think you have like hot dogs, right? Which would be the overall sports food, the food for the sports. And then, what would it be for StarCraft, you know? What would be the food, the official food snack of StarCraft? Would there be something that's like... Because it's so international, you know? It's hard to really pick something. Wouldn't it be Strive Biltong? I don't know. Would it? It could be. Yeah, maybe. If they support StarCraft as much as they do, and they keep doing it. Well, what if it's just Korean barbecue? I think that would be fun. It would be like sugar cubes, but made from salt. Yeah. Just snacking on those salted sugar cubes. I would like to see like an overall audience though, where instead of like regular seats, you have like little Korean barbecue setups, so you can just like do a little bit of Korean barbecuing yourself, as you just like just a whole bunch of smoke everywhere. As the StarCraft 2 games are going on. Spicy fried chicken. Yeah, maybe. Go away, fly. Anyway. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? Anyway, you guys at work? Where you at? Where you from? What's the deal here? Where are people watching from? Answer all those questions, and at least 2 sentences. So I want to have a nice essay here to read. No, where you guys from? What you doing right now? I want to know. I want to know who is watching actually, and who's actually listening. Or just, you know what, here for the games overall. I guess I would be here for the games mostly as well. Sunlily is listening. All right. So what are you doing right now, Sunlily? You're just watching the games or doing something else at the same time? Doing some graphics, photography? From New Zealand, and it's almost 1 AM, so I'm going off the bat after this one. Alright. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Mr. Chairman. He's from Canada, Dashed Hopes. He's from Canada. Hey, dude, how are you doing as well? You work from home, work for a supplements company, and happy to watch you and see some Koreans. Nice! Nice! Making the qualifier poster for Zaun and Ragnarok. Ah, okay. Sunlily, always on the case with the graphics. Always working her batoot off. Very much appreciated. It always looks amazing. All this stuff. No, wait. Was this one as well created by you, Sunlily? I think it was, right? Or at least edited. Maybe like the background and such. Maybe we got that from a Freakin' TV. I don't know. I wouldn't put it beneath you, though, to be able to make this stuff as well. So, anyway, props to you. Props to you. You ever hear you look like Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory? I think you say this to me every single time you show up. I think you're the one person that mentions this every single time. You just make different accounts. And then you come back at me again with this remark. You made that from scratch? The first time? No. I'm onto you. I know what's happening. Alright. Everdream, first map. Second map, Eternal Empire. Third one, Death, Aura. Fourth, Submarine. Fifth, Ice and Chrome. 6, Pillars of Gold. 7, Golden Wall. Alright. Hope you wrote it down if you're interested in it, because I'm not going to be mentioning it again. Because, you know what? I'm probably going to be talking about other random, non-really important stuff to this overall series right here. How's the green screen been today, actually? The new lighting setup, I know it like kind of makes me look like a person being enveloped, like I'm almost being taken into heaven right now, in a sense. But it should help out the overall, because now it's more so lit up on the backside. So it should help out with the green screen. No? Is it a lot better? Is it worse? I can see there's still a little thing over here. We can fix that by, you know what, not wearing a white t-shirt, because white apparently sometimes is considered green by a green screen for some reason. The green screen is good. Nice. Thank you. It's difficult, man. Green screens are difficult. They take a lot of efforts overall. I always underestimated it. But I think mostly, also the way that I'm trying to set it up maybe makes it difficult. Because I am in a tiny room. And, yeah. 73k MO. Hey, Kosan, watching from Russia. And audit financial statements at the same time. And audit financial statements. That doesn't sound like it's something positive in my ears. Unless if you're auditing other financial statements. You know what, then it's just your job. That makes it a positive. But if you're being audited on financial statements, good luck to you. Good luck to you. Santikored also from Russia. What's up? What's up, my Russians? Welcome. Welcome. Wait, how do they say this? Privyet. Right? Did I say something crazy? I hope I didn't just say something like something about your mother. No, it's just like that's just like hello, right? Or what you say when you're toasting, something like that, in that ballpark. I know very little Russian. Very, very little Russian. I have one Russian friend, and a guy that also, like, he can talk Russian because he's from Lithuania. So he does it a little bit, but that's about it. That's all I know about the Russians, mostly. Anyway, in the top right side, a blue Terran player fighting for the dragon, the Phoenix, and all the gamers in the world. He is Cure. Bottom left side, red Protoss. He is fighting for the Raising Your Edge. Gamers as well, more gamers overall in this gaming world. It is crazy how many gamers we have. Anyway, he is Zest. One more Russian chat here, and Kozan would have to do the Kalinka. What's the Kalinka, Sushi? What's this about? Is this something I'm gonna have to Google, or something I'm gonna regret Googling at the moment I Google it? Alright, now this matchup, we haven't seen this matchup just yet, have we? You don't know? You tell me. Alright. Show us. I'm not quite sure if I want to anymore. Ah, National Russian Dance, I see. I see. I don't dance. Also, the room, like I mentioned, it's pretty small. I don't have a lot of room to dance here. Things will start flying. Mostly the green screen, the cameras, the microphone, the lights, all that stuff. Inevitably going to be in the crossfire if I ever start dancing here. It's only a matter of time, to be fair. Alright, now, I mean... Okay, let's talk about this game overall, right? The fun part about today, right, is that we've had ZVP, we've had ZVT, now we're having a PVT, so we're covering all the matchups overall, and I guess that's a good thing. Overall, you know what? It's fun to have all the matchups, no? No? I'm a little bit disappointed to have like Dongregu and Rogue in this one, and then, you know what, as a Zerg player, not having a Zerg in the finals here. But at the same time, you know what? Cure and Zest can't really complain about those two going up against one another. Zest really looked very dominant in that previous one. Very interested to see how much prepping he has done overall in the PVT matchup. Uncomfortable undertone. Centicorat. Ooh. Oh my. I mean, I don't want to say you figured me out, but I mean, to just hang it up there for the entire stream chat to read. I didn't really want to. Well, it's right, guys. It is right. I do have a naked track behind me, but it's only for you know, just it's not what you think it is. All right, it's not for those reasons. It really isn't. You're just gonna have to trust me. It has a perfectly logical explanation, and as soon as I remember which one that is, I will come back to you. But until that time, it's gonna be just uncomfortable. Enough Zergs in the finals. Let's give them a break. Yeah, maybe. Let's just hope it doesn't get as one-sided as the GSL finals, of course. Zest and Cure. Two players that love to get aggressive here, so I am expecting a lot of aggression overall. Not an incredibly long game here. There's no armory, so these Widow Mines, I mean, even without a observer there. Oh my dear lord. Cure, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh god, he is trying not to die. That's what he's doing. The DT right here. 3 kills, actually. Must have been a second one as well. Two other ones, actually, already. Oh, the Cyclone here, not locking onto the War Prism. That would have killed that War Prism right there if he had controlled that lock-on ability. Unfortunately, not quite being able to do so. 9 workers in total going down, as Cure was a little bit busy as well, trying to get his Widowmine drop to work, but not quite making it work there. Unfortunately, he still has a single Widowmine with the medevac available. He's gonna have to try and commit again around in this location. Archon and 2 Stalkers here. Terran has been doing well against Zerg more recently. I mean, I think overall Terran have been doing okay against Zerg for quite a while now. Right? I don't think they've struggled that much, honestly. I think mostly it looks like just overall Protoss have been the ones struggling against Zerg. But the reasons for the struggling, they're a little bit obscure in a sense. It's hard to really pinpoint why, in my opinion. A lot of people give the Banelings the fault, you know? Just missing a single force field and suddenly all the Banelings come rushing in and you lose your entire army. That is a bit of a bummer. For sure. But then if you manage to hit all your force fields, yeah. It doesn't look that bad anymore. Of course, that is a big order to ask. To continuously be on top of all your sentries and make sure that you don't miss a force field. But at the same time, I mean, isn't that the game of StarCraft though? It's an incredibly volatile game where you need to pay attention to your units. Your units die very quickly no matter which race you play, right? Whether you're playing Terran versus the Disruptors, whether you're playing, I don't know, Protoss against a bunch of siege tanks somewhere, sieged up with, or Widow Mines in your probe line, or stuff like this, right? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway. Oh, gotta be careful. Want to keep that Raven alive here. Very expensive, very valuable unit, especially because we have Colossi in production right now for Zest. So, to be able to disable one or two of them, or one twice, that is going to be a incredibly powerful thing for Q to do here. But he needs to keep that Raven up. Alright, looking for a good position here. Zest moving forward, doesn't want this to go out of his comfort zone too quickly here. The siege tanks don't seem to be at any point being delayed by this offensive. The Raven also staying alive. A nice anti-armor missile and a interference matrix. Zest actually will try to commit here as he is still Dorito dusted. Will he have enough here? I don't think he will. The Colossus falls. The second Colossus does come onto the overall battlefield. The extended turbo launch is going to finish up here before anything else will be committed into a fight, I would say. Oh, but that Nexus under a bit of pressure right now. Let's wait and see. A lot of the Marines taking AoE damage. Immortal on the backside with that War Prism. A very, very nice overall strategy. And it looks like Zest will be able to hold on here without too much of a hassle. Those siege tanks really not have been doing that much. Now finally being able to kind of have something to say about the outcome of this overall battle. And you gotta think about, right, if those siege tanks had like just a couple more seconds worth of shooting, those targets would have gone down quicker, the Colossi would have gone down quicker, and overall Cure would have been in such a better position. So you know what, it kind of came down to overall Cure being a bit too aggressive with his forces, maybe feeling like he could take that fight. Even if the siege tanks don't do optimal amounts of damage. And Zest, you know what, perfectly positioning himself outside of the siege tank range and being able to really pick off all the infantry units before really committing to the siege tank line of fire there. Doing a great job there. Now Cure trying to get himself a third base, but the Blink Stalkers here providing quite a bit of a nuisance. And Cure not going to be able to keep the aggression going now because of this as well. The traditional prism loss, yeah, from Zest. It's what he does. It's what he does. He doesn't need the prism. As long as he makes a new prism, he should be okay. Alright. More Dark Templar on the field now as well. Gonna get this scout off. You know what? Might as well kill off some of the SCVs. Cleans up 3 of them. Not the best overall, of course. As as expensive as the Dark Templar are, but you know what? With the position Zest is finding himself in here, I wouldn't mind too much losing that Dark Templar for the 3 SCVs. Also gaining the scouting information, of course, at the same time. And that is quite valuable as well. Oh my dear lord, those Vikings. The Vikings extremely exposed. And that's 1/3 of the Viking force now for Cure. Immediately gone and dusted before the fight even starts. A big stim as well being forced out here for Cure, as there is no real fight happening at this moment in time. Even stimming all the units in the backside right now. Trying to get everything assembled. Siege tanks sieging up again. A little bit further away than last time. A lot more Marauder heavy this round as well. But it looks like, you know what, the Colossi are just too powerful. Nothing there really to contest them now, especially after those initial Viking losses. And the siege tanks not really being able to do much either. GG is called. Zest takes game number 1. Nice. All right. Now we wait. Now we wait for the second game to start. And the second game, of course, being Eternal Empire. Big maps here to start things off with. The biggest map, though, will be game number 5. So we will need Kjør to win at least one game in order to see that one. I think that would be a pretty good one for Kjør overall. I think the more distance you can put between you and Zest, the better off you're going to be. Zest winning too much, who would have thought? I mean, honestly, I don't expect Zest to win that much anymore recently. It's starting to turn around again. But yeah, before the GSL, I wasn't that impressed with Zest. I really thought he was a little bit in a slump. Not a massive slump, but overall, I mean, I would call it a slump. He's still Zest, so he's still bloody amazing at what he does, but ultimately, felt like it just was missing something, right? The overall dominance that we see from Zest in that early game, the uniqueness, he was just kind of, it felt like stuck on doing the adept glaive attack all the bloody time. And then versus Terrence, he didn't do that much either in my recollection of what was happening in those days. He also just kind of had the problems with the timing attacks that were very much popularized by Innovation and Kjør. And he very much struggled against that type of stuff. Anyway. With those timing attacks kind of going out of popularity off of the 2 base anyway. Looks like, you know what? A new age of Protoss may be starting to kind of be coming in the limelight here. We'll have to wait and see, though, of course. Maybe the Terrans will be able to come up with some other way to still make it work out. Anyway, in the bottom left side, there is a red Protoss fighting for Razor Edge Gaming. He is Zest. Yeah, I am loving the overall play right now from Zest. Going for so many Dark Templars in pretty much all the matchups as well. I mean, Dark Templars, no matter how much I hate playing against them, is it a joy to see them being part of these pro games? For sure it is, and happy to have them hang about in these matches. Anyway, his opponent here, the Dragon the Phoenix, the gamer, he is the Blue Terran, Kjør. Dragon, the Phoenix, and the Gamer. That sounds like some sort of a Nordish heavy metal band that like incorporates fantasy things and things from gaming into their songs. You guys know what I'm talking about. We've all seen them. Okay, so double gas here for Kjør being taken. Harry Potter and the Dragon Phoenix Gamer, that's right. What's the lady called again? The writer of the Harry Potters. I wouldn't be surprised if she actually does just change one of the books to be like the Dragon Phoenix Gamer. Actually, it wasn't a snake. It wasn't a basilisk. It was a Dragon Phoenix who loved the game, because gaming is evil, guys. That lady does go a little bit crazy now and again, doesn't she? Alright, anyway. A very quick Hellion drop is going to be facilitated, as well as a Marauder push here. Already having the concussive shell right now you know what? This could do absolute wonders against what we see here from Zest. I'm a little bit curious how this works out, right? The Hellions with the Marauders. You see this sometimes with, well, against Zergs, right? Being utilized, because the Zergs heavily rely on the Queens and the Zerglings. Now, the Marauders deal with the Queens. The Hellions obviously deal with the Zerglings. But against Protoss, I mean, the Protoss don't really have any type of fighting unit that deals with, well, that is easily dealt with by the Hellion. I suppose the Adepts, maybe some Zealots as well. But you don't really see those all too often in the PvT matchup. Now, sometimes you do see them, of course. It's not an impossible thing to... Oh my dear lord, look at that. Luring in those Stalkers and then dropping those Marauders right on top of them. He did lose a Marauder though. That could be quite devastating. And now, the drones are being pulled, or the probes are being pulled. And the Hellions doing quite a good job. Okay, okay. You know what? You know what? I take it all back. This is one hell of a brilliant strategy here. Lovely job overall. We'll be able to take out another Stalker right now. And GG is called. Man, was that one hell of a pusher. What? Cure takes game number 2 there in a very clean fashion. And again, I mean, 2 extremely aggressive players. And so far, the person who is more aggressive manages to take the victory. So, we don't have stats sitting in this game just chopping down any type of attack that's coming at him. He's just kind of stuck we're just kind of stuck with the overall super aggressive players that we have for us right now. I say stuck, but I mean, jeez Louise. Honestly, I think it's a lot of fun to just have these very aggressive playstyles going up against one another, because it does kind of seem like a little bit of a toss of the dice sometimes, but at the same time, it's crisis management, right? So overall, how does one react when suddenly being approached by something that you didn't see coming in, something that requires your immediate response? And if you mess up just a couple of seconds, if you take a wrong turn somewhere, right, you're dead, you're out, you took too many losses. And that's just a lot of fun, in my opinion. Excuse me. Excuse me. Alright, I mean, 1-1. 1-1. Should be good. That means we're already guaranteeing ourselves a game number 5. And we only need 2 more games to be won by the player that doesn't win in the entire series. And we'll be able to get ourselves into game number 7. I am hoping for a game number 7. Remember, actually, wasn't it? I think it was Cure. Not too long ago, we had Cure. But there is actually a fly on the cap. I hope you guys didn't see it. Just suddenly a massive fly in front of you. That he was really close to the opening, the PP hole of the camera. Is that a good terminology? The PP hole of a camera? I don't think it is. I may have just made myself look like a fool. Anyway, what was I saying? Something about the scores. Oh, right, yeah. We saw Patience versus Cure recently, a best of 9. And Patience went up the first game, right? 2 came out, easy peasy. Second game, you know what? I was like, alright, well, maybe this time he's going to be able to turn it around. Nope, still went into Patience's favor. You know, third game, you're like, alright, well, Patience on a bit of a tear. Maybe he's going to be able to, you know what, really make this a good series. Third game, bam, Cure goes down again. No chance whatsoever. And this is where you start to kind of get worried, right? Because there's only 2 more games that need to be won there by Patience. And Cure needing to get himself a big victory, right? Already needing 5 wins in a row. Well, not in a row, but just 5 wins in total. And he loses that one as well. Gets himself behind in the score. 4-0. Now, if that was the best of 7... that would immediately mean the end of things, right? That would have been just GG. Well done. Patience. 4-0 in Cure, making it look easy. No problem whatsoever. And what happened next was, well, one of the biggest comebacks that I've seen in my entire life. Kjør turns it around first, well, in the first game, winning in one, getting 1 point on the board. Second game, third game, fourth game, and then a fifth game, all in a row. No problem for Kjør. Sometimes he can be a little bit of a slow starter, but once he gets started, man, is he a force to be reckoned with. My dear lord, is he a force to be reckoned with. And I'm just a little bit curious whether or not we're going to be seeing that again here. Didn't take him as long, obviously. Didn't have to fall behind into the last game of the series. Also, I think you might want to be a little bit more careful to let something like that happen again when you're playing against Zest rather than playing against Patience. As I think Zest much more capable of just kind of cheesing out a victory here and there in order to get himself a sneaky victory with some sort of DT tech, whether it be or Stargate tech. There's some sneaky play he didn't really anticipate. But anyway, all of that on the side. We're waiting to see what Zest's response is going to be. He did try to scout here with a probe. Found the front door of Kjør being locked down tight. And at that moment in time, you're going to have to be a little bit suspicious, right? You're going to have to be wary. You're not quite sure what is happening. Could very well be some sort of an attack again, right? This is how we saw the previous game open up as well. And he's going to have to take into account that it could be something similar once more. Comes in this time around though, sees the command center and actually turns around here. Checking to see if there's another command center on the natural. Okay, he needs to see this third command center. There we go. Okay, now he knows exactly what is happening. Sees the second barracks as well. Didn't see the third barracks though. Oh no, wait, that's the factory. Never mind. Never mind, guys. That is the factory. And this might give Zest a little bit of a free pass to go for an expansion himself as well. It's exactly what he will be going for. Of course, he could go for more so of a aggressive build as well. Oh my dear lord, the Reaper gets in here. Gets a full scout of the main base. He did see the Twilight Council. I mean, that may give him the idea that Dark Templar are on the way. But you also saw, of course, the probe trying to get towards that third base location. So a very heavy assumption can be made here. Kind of thinking that there will be a third base. Now, Zest, of course, his third base a little bit slower than that one of Kjør, but not too of a bad position here for him, honestly. Already still ahead in the overall workers here, of course. And, yeah, should be fine. Should be fine. I'm pretty sure he scouted that in time to make this an even overall game. Maybe with a slight lead for Kjør. But that really only comes into play as soon as this third command center gets put down on the third command center base. I guess maybe the mules as well, right? The mules giving a bit of an advantage here. But that's only a slight one right now. Only a slight one. Once more, Zest going for the blink. And that is a very common thing here for Zest. Overall, going for the blink play. Immediate follow-up with the charge slots. Alright, alright. 2 more gateways as well. I'm wondering when this... it does look like Kjør is ramping up a little bit of aggression here. And I mean, he has 41 army supply versus 25. Very well, could be the moment in time where he you know what, if he does go for it right now, and he will be able to dish out quite a bit of a punch here. Instead, going for Widowmine drops, gets 2 in total, losing 2 Widowmines as well. Sending out a second Widowmine drop on the left side though. But honestly, seeing the army supply of Zest right now, I mean, you have to wonder, what if you just went in with those 2 medevacs, with the bioforces and those Widowmines as well? That could have been one hell of a nasty situation for Zest. I don't think he really was prepared for that whatsoever. And, oh well. Oh well, it's what we're dealing with right now. Widowmine into the main base. Gonna get himself 3 workers. That's a pretty good connection. You know what, makes that worth it for sure. Ooh, okay. Good pull away there from Zest. Zest starting to do a bit of aggression himself on this other side of the map. Those force fields, though, of course, always a absolute pain to have to deal with here for any Terran player. May want to consider lifting up the command center, and that's exactly what he does. Needs to get himself as much room as possible. Trying to target down the Warp Prism here before the new Warp in arrives. It doesn't quite get killed off in time, but ultimately he does hold for the price of a good amount of workers, though. Another hit from that Widowmine, and it looks like Zest, even though he did kill off 11 workers there, it just wasn't enough. The attack completely thwarted. Cure on 56 workers. Yeah, GG is called. Zest taps out of game number 3. Alright. So, just to put this to rest. To prove to you guys. Let me see if I can get this ready. Huh, where should I put this? Where should I put this? I don't know. Alright, let's put it here. Okay. Alright. I don't know how big this is going to be. Alright, so. There. Alright, look. Wait, this way. This way. See? See? Nothing alike. Nothing alike. Crazy, crazy overall rumors floating around. You know, some people say I look like, oh, shit. No, you don't. No, you don't, Chairman. Get out of here, Chairman. Get out of here. I'm more of like a, you know, Orlando Bloom kind of character, you know. some Brad Pitt-esque, more so. Kind of individual. George Clooney, that's right. Yeah, that's a lot more like me. Thick, muscular, manly man, ready to rip apart your, you know, your own personal self-worth belief because of just the, the sheer amount of masculinity. Oh, the Rock has nothing on me. Overall, sorry, something was in my eye there. Anyway, do you watch Horton Hears a Who? I think I have heard about that. Isn't that like an elephant? Isn't it an elephant with like that hears a lot of stuff, and then he hears like tiny people, and then the tiny people they turn out to be people or something like that? That's a weird thing to say, that the tiny people turn out to be people, but they turn out to not just be tiny little figments of his imagination. It's Sheldon. Alright. Alright. I guess I didn't do me any favors. I mean, he's a very handsome fella. He is an extremely handsome fella. You know, nothing beats his overall rugged good looks. I suppose. I did make a little bit of a 180 turn there on my... Should be okay. Should be okay. Anyway. We're gonna get started here. With, I hope, at least. Let me see, did I get talked to? 3-minute break. That was That was 3 minutes ago. Okay. That's always happens to me. I'm just filling up time. And then ultimately it turns out like, oh yeah, we've been on a break, Gozen. You could have done stuff all this time. I'm quickly gonna grab my water bottle that's right over there. Because I forgot to put it close by. So I'll 1 second, guys. 1 second. Yeah. It is quite a ordeal now to wiggle myself past the lighting setup. But it's doable. It's doable. We did it. Alright, Zest is ready. Inu is asking whether or not everybody else is ready as well. Which means Kyo. We're waiting for Kyo to be ready here. Water. Now, it's still important to drink enough water, guys. Make sure you do so. You do so. That sounds funny, doesn't it? It kind of sounds like Medusa. Medusa, but then you do so. It's like, you know, her brother or something. You do so. You do so. The English language is filled with unpredictable, weird maneuvers one can take. Alright. Alright, guys. Moving on through. Game number 4? We're on game number 4. Cure 2 points now up on the scoreboards. Let's see if he is going to just roll the train into Victory Town here. As, you know what, once he gets rolling, he usually does. Next stop, going to be Submarine. Will it be another stop here for Cure or Zest? We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, top left side. This man is not just a man. He is the epitome of gaming, of course. That would be a Dragon Phoenix. Here he is, in the top left. He is Cure. And this man right now on the bottom right side, the Red Protoss. He will not only beat you at StarCraft, but he will also raise his own edge while doing so. He is Zest. Well, I really said that in a disappointing way, right? Zest. Zest, right here, yeah. No, it is Zest. The most handsome of all handsome. Except for Sheldon Cooper, of course. It's the one. The one exception. Gateway and 8 barracks. Interesting. Is Submarine the smallest map? Yes, I think so. I would be surprised if it turns out that that's a smaller map than Submarine. Unless if the map is so small that nobody ever noticed it. And we've just been ignoring it all this time. Yeah, it's too small for the naked eye to see, you know? That's the one potentially smaller map out there. High doubts about that one. I don't think the current StarCraft 2 map editor is capable of making something like that. Little bit of dancing here from the SCV and the probe. Ooh, okay, still gonna commit here. The Reaper is coming in to help out as well. That bunker wants to get done so badly. Doesn't quite get it. And now just, oh dear lord, the Reaper. Okay, whew, does manage to get into the base here still. This is the most important part. Gets that scout off, of course. That's what you want. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to get back in here again at some later points with the scout. There should be a map with just one mineral patch for each player, and they gotta make the most of it. Yeah. That would be interesting, honestly. That would be very interesting indeed. It would be kind of like just having players, instead of mineral patches and gas geysers, you would just have a certain amount of minerals and gas to start, you know, at the start of a game. And then you have to spend it as wisely as you can. And then make the most of it in that sense. Oh wow. Surprise, surprise, guys. Guess what buildings that's just put down. I guess you have about two guesses. Well, you guessed correctly. It is indeed the it is indeed the Dark Shrine. Because you only needed one guess. Some Protoss would have noticed the difference. A 3-head alien building, that's right. What's up, Sniper? How you doing, my friend? How are you feeling today? Came in here once again to check out the StarCraft 2. I see. As you do, as you do. Wouldn't it be cool if, like, the Dark Shrine also had, like, one of them had a scythe, the other one had, like, a side blade, and then whatever that third option is that you have for Dark Templars sometimes. Is there a third option? I don't think there is, right? You only have the side blade and the scythe. The scythe blade. Well, this is awkward. You know what? Actually, this is very awkward. Zest is making the base of Kjør an absolute mess right now, as Kjør is moving across right here, trying to make the best out of the situation, bringing across all of those SCVs, the small amount of bio that he has acquired here, and of course, you know what, he just dropped down a mule here as well. No way, actually, that still was from the previous base. Okay, in he goes, trying to get rid of as much as possible here. There's the scan, needs to get on top. Oh my god, he's building a missile turret right here in the base of Zest. He needs to make it work right here, right now. Gets the shield battery as well. There's not that much overall right now. Then we need another scan. We need another scan right now. Come on. Yeah. Okay, the missile turret. The missile turret gets completed. Didn't get right on top of that one. Zest in a lot of trouble here. Oh my dear lord. Imagine the frustration that you have as Zest right now. Oh my god, doing so much damage, and then suddenly, you know what? Oh, this force field though, this could be a absolute amazing opportunity. He misses the force field just a little bit, so still a good amount of forces. Can try to overall provide assistance here, and he actually does get on top. Sends out half of his forces here. The War Prism came back. I mean, Kjør still might be in a little bit of trouble. Still needs to, of course, win this game right here, right now. There's the scan again, but going into the War Prism here with the other Dark Templar. Oh, it gets picked off anyway. Back when it gets put down onto the ground. Zest needs absolutely everything he can muster right now. And I'm not quite sure if it's going to be enough. The probes going down one by one. The stims are costing these units quite a bit, though. And Kjør is being very, very careful with which units he is stimming here. Only stimming with a small portion of his forces every single time. Trying to chase down this War Prism right now. 2 more Dark Templar coming in though. The missile turret on the low ground has been picked off. This is the final chance basically for Zest to still make something work. A scan comes down. Okay, picking up one scan into the War Prism. Oh my dear lord. Do we have another scan available? I don't think we do. I don't think we do. What are you even supposed to do anymore as Kjør in this moment in time? Do you go back home again? Is this where you just go back to your command center and start mining? Is this gonna happen? Did we really just see a full committal with all the SCVs, all the bioforces across the map, and then coming back here? I mean, these Dark Templar, alright, they get right on top of the Marauders. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it, guys. I don't think this is winnable anymore. Unfortunately here for Kjør. And you know what? It was a close one, but Zest should have this one. I'm pretty sure this is unlosable here for Zest right now. GG. And you know what? Cure making it a tight one, making it a lot closer than I thought it would be. But hey, that was something else. The probe only has like 1 health or something. Yeah, man. Imagine if he also had a missile turret in the main base of Zest right there. That would have looked entirely different. Losing that missile turret into in the natural base there. It's nuts. Nuts. 1 probe saves the game. Yeah, I mean, even without that probe, right? I mean, he probably would have been okay, as he had the 2 Dark Templar. He had 2 Stalkers as well. And it's gonna take a long time for Cure to mine up enough minerals and then to produce like another, like, how many Marines would you need? You would like need 6 Marines? Something like that. Right, maybe 2 Marauders. To really fully sweep 2 Dark Templar and 2 Stalkers. And you would need a scan as well, so... If the CC floats without a probe, it's a tie. Yeah, I suppose. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that one. Yeah, true. Well, Cure didn't take that into account. That would have been awkward. That would have been extremely awkward. We got really close to a tied-up series there. Or, well, tied-up game. We're tied up in the series now. That is one thing. But a tied-up game as well. That would have been pretty cool. And at the same time, rather frustrating for Zest, probably. Because he almost tied up the series. Nuts. Nuts. Alright. Didn't quite work out that way. And that means we're moving on through with the series here. In the top right side, there is a blue Terran. The Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He is Cure. Bottom left side, a red Protoss. He is from Razor Edge Gaming. He is Zest. Yeah, I would imagine we'll do a rematch. It's so rare though. Within my entire casting career, I don't think I've ever seen a tie. I don't think I've ever seen a tie. Like, I think it's difficult to fully grasp how rare a tie is. Except for people that continuously watch StarCraft 2. Like, it just really doesn't happen. Honestly. It is so incredibly difficult to make a tie happen. But we were very close in that situation. We were very close. You've seen a tie or two back in the... Yeah, the Wings of Liberty days. That's right, but... I mean... yeah, that on its own already shows how rare of an occurrence it is. Maybe in the latter games, right? Whenever I'm playing, especially. And it's all the time. Oh. These pro players, what is he doing? Zest, my man. Having a bit of a disco party there. It's like a sonar this time, the way. Factory barracks. And a gateway cyber into the Stargate here. Being proxied, immediately scouted as well though. Zest, I'm not quite sure if you saw that SCV. I think he must have seen that SCV the other way around now. But might not be anticipating the SCV to have spotted this just quite yet. It's a difficult one to say. Now, let's see what Cure's response going to be in this situation here. And how he plans to deal with this. Because this is still, of course, something that can do quite a bit of damage. Overall, he should get himself a tech lab for the factory here. There we go, got that Cyclone. A second barracks is on the way. That's something we are seeing a lot more recently of the Terran players. It became a bit more accepted as the way how you deal with this kind of stuff. He didn't make a safety bunker though, and this could be quite a bit of trouble as we only have a single Marine here. And a single Marine just doesn't beat a single Stalker. Okay, 2 more Marines now, but even that doesn't quite bode well for them. As long as that Stalker is microed correctly. I suppose on the high ground they can stay pretty relatively safe. Okay, Zest backs up with the Stalker. Well, I would have liked him to try and get a bit more overall Marine kills with that Stalker. Just really try to nail in that advantage then, because afterwards, if he does come in with the Oracle, it's going to be a whole lot more potent overall, right? Without extra Marines there, it's going to become more difficult to really hold your own against the Oracle. The Reaper doing a little bit of a escape trick right there. The Oracle losing sight of it. We'll be over here now. Again, the Reaper comes in suddenly like, haha, reappeared. A true magician. Smart movements anyway from Kjør here. Getting himself the scouts. That Oracle really didn't even attempt anything in this situation, as he knows Kjør scouted it on multiple occasions, so would be rather ridiculous if it still did manage to get something done. Bitterwood saying David Ripperfield. Oh man, David Ripperfield. David Ripperfield. That's a nice one. Forge on the way now as well. Yeah, for Zest, just looking for that late game right with that 3rd basis in the production tab. Kjør here, still a little bit of a question mark what he's exactly planning to do. Did get himself the engineering bay, but more so it looks like for missile turrets. Missile turrets. Oracle, gotta be careful here. This could be a good opportunity for Zest to maybe get some damage done. He has a lot of Blink Stalkers here. Gonna get right on top of that bunker. Easy as pie. Does lose a bit of HP though. Overall, no Stalkers, but of course, with the vision that he has provided himself, we'll be able to tell exactly. Oh wait, well, not anymore. Not anymore. Needs to re-tag those sources right now. It's kind of fun seeing this kind of setup, right? You don't see this as often as the Robo Blink play. The Stargate Blink, definitely also quite capable of dishing out a little bit of a similar bit of aggression in the start. Oh my dear lord, massive interception there. Killing off that Widowmine drop as easy as that. There is still another Widowmine drop. There it is. Okay, my bad, guys. I missed that one. 3 probes do go down here. Not a devastating amount, but still, could have been a lot worse. Thank God Zest doesn't have my eyesight. Okay, Kjør now starting to get aggressive. Going on a bit of an excursion here, trying to pick off some economy for Zest, it looks like. Straight up fighting here wouldn't be the best choice for Zest, I would say, as he doesn't have quite a big AoE amount of damage here. Although, you know what, that's a good amount of Zealots with charge. They can do quite a bit, honestly, against these bio units. As if the bio units find themselves in between structures and mineral fields, of course, that on its own may be enough to make this an incredibly difficult place for Zest to engage. Alright, nice targeting down the pylon there. Gets a cancel on a couple of those warp-ins. There we go, yeah, as you can see, these Zealots really struggling right now. Not only just on the mineral patches here near the forces of Kjør, but even before there. And Kjør very happy to just take a trade here, it looks like. Starting to become a little bit unfavorable, but this is because while this is happening, he's coming in with more forces on the other side as well. trying to do the damage in this theater of battle on the other side. Kyo though, I mean, also still needs to be careful as the Oracle. Doing a little bit of the same thing here, putting the overall attention on the other side now. That's interesting. So yeah, I mean, returning back with those forces overall in the main base, I mean, probably would have been the right thing to do overall, but I mean, at the same time, if he did manage to get the other forces here just a couple of seconds earlier, right? Imagine the damage he would have been able to do just because the forces of Zest were stuck here trying to deal with the other army, right? That would have been an absolute amazing situation. Kyo just barely missing that with a couple of seconds of timing, and now needs to find himself another opportunity here. Is he gonna just drop again into the main base here? Yes, he is. Okay, well, I mean, it looks like we just have this going for Kyo here. Gonna drop them right on top of the Stalkers right now. Ooh, one medevac gets picked off with still a couple of units in there. That's a lot of Widow Mines though, ready to pick off those Zealots. Let's see how well those connect. Not the greatest connections just quite yet. One of them doing alright here. Would love to see more units coming into that third base now again as well, but instead decides to go for the retreat, doing, you know, a little bit of damage overall. Gets a reasonable trade again here. And there's still a Widowmine as well, of course, available in that main base. Zest not quite seeing that one in time. Okay, so Kyo, I mean, as long as he keeps taking these okay trades, he should be doing good with this, right? He's got a fourth base now on the way. Just keep the aggression on top of Zest's base overall, and this could be a good opportunity for him to run away with the advantage of this game. But I mean, just a small misstep, losing his army a little bit too inefficiently, and suddenly Zest is gonna have this absolute steamroller ready to just absolutely trample Kyo by just moving across the map here with a simple A move. And that's the scary part, right? That's the real scary part here for Kyo. But ultimately, if he keeps this up, keeps trading well, then this should be a good opportunity here. Good amount of SCVs going down there. 7 of them in total, actually. Equaling out the worker count. Still, of course, favors Kyo. But nice to see a little bit of Zest getting himself back into this with some aggression of his own. Still 2 medevacs here near the main base, looking out for those 6 Stalkers. Should be enough to really shut that down very nicely. Immediately Kyo building a supply depot wall here. Someone give those DTs as easy access as they had before. And now, you know what? Going into the late game. We have the enhanced shockwaves on the way. We have, of course, Blink for the DT now ready as well, as is per usual for the late game of Zest. Even going for a couple of disruptors here. Adding those in as well. Definitely can provide quite a punch here versus the Terran units. But on the other hand, we're already seeing the air weapons upgrade for Kyo here. Coming into the play as well, the production tab. Happily working away on that one. Okay, finally coming in with that drop right now. Cleaning up a good amount of those workers. And just Stalkers here. Okay, well, I guess they are going to be able to clean this up. Not as efficiently as you would like to, of course. Maybe one Colossus also being... would have been a nice attribution to the defense there. But yeah, 12 workers here. Kyo once again kind of just rolling away with the game here in the economic sense. Let's take a look at the income graph. As we saw, yeah, it was starting to kind of equal out. And now all of a sudden, you know what? One more attack and oh my dear lord, there is a wasp in my room again. Go out. Go. Okay. No. God, he almost went out of the window. I hate wasps so much now. I'm sorry, guys. I need to pay attention to this as well, of course. Scan needs to be... You know what? This is just so weird that Zest does this all the time, right? How is this How is this a good thing? You know what I'm saying? It's like so much money he just throws away like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. A little bit of a gamble, but you know what? In this situation, it may be providing him with a great opportunity. Oh my dear lordy! Oh, the repairs just enough. The Vikings gonna be able to pick off every single Colossus. The Colossi are gone right now. The War Prism is gone, and the forces of Zest need to go for a massive retreat. We have the forces from the top left also coming back in around again. Do we not have concussive shell? Okay, we do. That's actually, yeah, funny. Funnily enough, that was those weren't Marauder shots. That was the Cyclone. Got confused there for a second. Anyway, this fight right here, more DTs coming in from the top left, but also more Marauders, more Marines. GG is called. Cure takes game number... Oh, game number... what was that? Game number 5? Yeah, game number 5. That was game number 5. Well, Zest in trouble now. Zest in trouble now. Or is he? I don't know. Not entirely, right? I suppose Cure still needs only one win. Zest only needs 2 wins. Loving those raisins, that's right. Me too, man. I'm really loving these raisins. Gonna take small bites. Rip the head off the raisin. Just a single raisin to keep me going. Alright. Yeah. Pillars of Gold. It's gonna be a rough one here for Zest, I would say, right? It really doesn't feel like he has been able to get himself massively ahead in any situation. The games that he did win, incredibly close. Very tight. Just barely scraping on by. Managing to win because he has 1 probe, you know? These types of situations. And that's not an over-exaggeration. That is because he had 1 probe remaining, which caused that game not to go into a tied-up situation. Now, Cure, on the other hand... looking pretty dominant. I mean, he is definitely proving that he does not require to go into a massive cheese. He doesn't require to do a 2-base timing attack against these Protoss players. He's doing okay in that later part of the game as well. I wouldn't say it's the extreme late game, right? It's kind of the later parts of the mid game. But definitely, you know what, carrying his own weight and kind of shoving it into the face of the Protoss. Anyway, here's that Dragon Phoenix Gamer. He is the Cure. The blue Terran ready to mess with your Protoss day. In the bottom left side, the red Protoss. Raise your edge gaming. He is Zest. Raisin. Still not a single cannon rush from Zest here. I mean, I had to say, guys, but it seems like he's actually quite doing well with these games again. Seems like he's back in the mood to play some StarCraft. Oh. Back in the mood to make mining difficult for Cure here as well. Actually, no, never mind. Just goes for the one mineral steel here. Well, it's the 5 minerals, of course. The 5 mineral steel. He's like, I will graciously accept this gift of 5 minerals of you, good sir. Cure's like, I never gave that to you. He just runs off. Now, what would you do if you were Zest here, right? You need to win 2 games in a row 2 games in a row. In the finals of this best of 7 versus Kure. Your back's against the wall. I mean, if this was a PvZ, I think we know what would happen. But it isn't. It really isn't a PvZ. Instead, what we're dealing with here is a PvT. A matchup that Zest isn't all that well known for. And Kure, on the other hand, is... well, he's made a lot of money playing the TVP series. On multiple occasions. Against top tier Protosses as well, as such Zest. Desperate times, call for cheese times, maybe. Oh, is he gonna let that finish? Yes, he is. Alright, this is actually rather annoying for Kure. Oh my god, even gets that shade underneath again as well. This is incredibly frustrating. Okay, okay. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if he lets that shade finish again here. Takes out the Marine and tries to micro backwards again with another shade. That could have been GG right then and there. That is such a enormous bump in the road for the overall build order here for Kure, right? Because he needs to get those 4 Hellions out in order to get them into the medevac that will be popping out here on the left side of the field. That could have been massive. Already rather massive, of course. Getting the scout is first and foremost very important to do. He doesn't know about the proxy medevac just quite yet, though. Which could bite him in the butt at some later points. But alright, anyway, let's take a look. These signs, they still seem to be coming out here at the right time. Not too much of a delay, seeing that the medevac only now actually being available here. So, not overall, still very much working out here for Kure, the timing at least. But of course, having your stuff getting scouted makes it a lot more difficult to make it work here. Oh my dear lord, the Hellions, okay, will be picked up again, trying to get themselves into the natural base. There is Dark Templars again, though. Here we are into that main base of Kure. Kure doesn't have the missile turrets. He does have a good scan. Oh, the Hellions will be picked off right now. So that has been dealt with, but the Dark Templar still around. They do get picked up again. The War Prism carries them back to safety outside of that scan range. And now we only have one single scan remaining, and the DTs, they're spread out. It's going to be a rough one. 13 workers already have been killed. How long until the next scan? It's going to be a good 11 seconds still, as more Dark Templar are being warped into the main base here. Taking out the tech lab, taking out the reactor. You know what, guys? This is a lot of trouble. The Cyclone did get completed still. And let's see, he did use that, the lock onto the, okay, no, there we go, onto the War Prism. Thought for a moment that he used it onto a Dark Templar there that got picked up again, but seems to be okay. The missile turret, you know what, this is starting to get out of hand. GG is called. Zest wins once again with the Dark Templar, bringing another point on the board, tying up the series again, and making it all to play for once more. Let's see if he will be able to clean it out, though. And you know what? This time around, change fate. And you know what? Be the first time that he is in the lead in this series overall, right? Because I don't think Zest at one single point so far was in the lead. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kure every time, right? We get tied up, Kure takes a point. We get tied up. No, wait. Zest took the first game. Zest did take the first game. And then Kure tied it up. Kure taking another game. Zest, Kure, Zest. I think that's where we're at right now. Somewhere around there. Right, the score is 3-3. We're going into game number 7. His lead was invisible, just like his units. That's right, that's right. There we are. Golden Wall. The final battlefields will be a strange one. And you have to wonder, right? Kure going for a very aggressive build there. The Hellion drop with a proxy starport. I mean, it can do quite a bit overall. But ultimately, it's a dangerous one, right? It's a dangerous one. If you get caught out, well, first and foremost, it's going to be pretty easily held overall, right? You still will take a little bit of damage usually as Protoss, but if you have your Starks in the right position, an Adept there as well, and you play that out appropriately, it should be able to be held as nicely as S did. And then the scariest part about it all is, of course, that, well, you're not going to have anything at home. As we saw there, you have to get the money for this type of stuff in the early game from somewhere. And that's coming from the pocket of not having as many Marines, not having as much tech overall at home, and not having any safety missile turrets, right? That's the problem with the overall strategy. Well, I don't say problem. It's more so a weakness, right? It's a weakness of the build. So anyway, that just makes it more fun whenever somebody uses it. And you're like, wow, okay, the Hellion drop's incredibly potent. Why doesn't everybody do this all the time? Well, that is why. Because you just don't have as much of a follow-up in case of an early aggression from your opponent as well across the map. Okay. Looked like he was running away with the series here, but once again, he is in hot waters. Needs to get one more victory, and will be able to take the crown of today's Super Series. Let's see if he will be able to get it done. He's the Dragon Phoenix Gamer Man. He is Cure. Bottom right side, his opponent, the ever so frightful Man of Invisible Units, Razor Edge Gaming's Red Protoss. He is Zest. The Dark Templar Abuser. I am the Dark Templar Abuser. Yeah. I don't know why that was so funny to me. But, yeah, nonetheless, both these players, it looks like they will be going for some regular stuff here. At least, I think they will. There should be a command center coming up here pretty soon, right? Sure. And blammo in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I was way off there. I was way off there. You suddenly gain a lot more minerals there. A big group of SCVs just like that, just gifting a ton of minerals all of a sudden. It happens. It happens. Alright, just seeing that there is in fact a natural base here for Zest, moves back around again, feels safe and secure, knowing that there's nothing too crazy going on right now. Does Neeb still play StarCraft 2? Do whales do well in the water? Do hot air balloons sometimes take people with them with robes on the side of the balloon? Yes, they do. Yes, he does. He was in the Watch As team event. That's true, actually. Yeah, he was in the old Protoss team. The good old Protoss team. Man, the old Protoss team, however much I loved seeing that team, in a way, I'm kind of wondering how those guys felt, right? Because that's a lot of money you can get from those games. And then to be picked into a team that is like just all Protoss on a whimsical whim. I mean, the entertainment value was absolutely enormous for the viewers, and it did great overall in that sense. But that's the players, right? You gotta be scratching your head there and then be like, well, if we had like a really good Zerg and a Terran, maybe we would have had a lot more money. But they still did pretty good overall in the rankings. So hats off to those guys. Hats off to those fellas. When's the balance patch coming out? I'm not completely sure. It's always a bit of a weird one. Guys, you're never gonna guess. You're never gonna guess what Zest is doing. War Prison DTs. Alright, I mean... Oh, but a Raven. The Raven this time around. will rear its ugly mug into this battle. He'll have something to say about this invisible man. And this may become one of the problems again here for Zest. I mean, this is, I feel like, one of the main problems for Zest, which is also one of his strengths overall. He really likes to do one build, right? He knows which build he likes. He likes to just incorporate that build over and over again and make the fullest use of it. And that's why he's so good at refining a build, making up a new thing overall. Because, you know what, he knows how to refine a build overall by just doing the builds over and over again. But the problem is that sometimes you become predictable. Sometimes you become predictable, and I feel like this may be the moment in time where we do have ourselves a little bit too much predictability here from Zest, and that is allowing Kyo to just be like, alright, well, I'm just going to make a Raven. Easy. Alright, that's all I need right now. That's going to be able to keep me safe in this situation, and he's not wrong, honestly. Although, you know what, those DTs still coming into that natural base. Being distracted is Kyo right now by the War Prism. And still going to lose quite a good amount of SCVs here. You know what? I don't know how he does it, but still gaining quite a bit of value. Gets out of there as well. Zest. You have to hand it to him. You have to hand it to him. Still managing to make it work. You wouldn't say it would still work, right? There was a Raven. There was a good amount of bio units. And still 8 worker kills. Just like that. Blammo. How much stuff did he lose? Nothing. Not a single unit. Not one little thing. And man, oh man. What a guy. What a guy. Doesn't really bank any furthermore onto those Dark Templars either. Because he's like, you know what? He has the Raven. He should be aware now. I shouldn't be trying it too much anymore. I can just make them into Archons. Should be fine as well. It's going to do a lot of work as most of the gas money went into that Raven right now. And the rest of the money is being used for Marines, and Marines don't do that well against Archons, so yeah, Zest here doing a bang-up job overall. Really getting himself ahead quite a bit here. That siege tank, where is that siege tank coming from? This is the factory. Okay, I guess he just put it here as the defensive, for defensive purposes. Or maybe, how did that tank get there? Interesting. Maybe he had it made here earlier on at some point. I don't know. Anyway. That's now on 3 base. Has Colossi out, well, almost 2 Colossi out. Extended Thermal Lance should be ready before this attack actually comes in. And as the attack is coming in, Archons once again in the mineral fields here, causing a stir. Kyo, though, will not be bullied to coming back home again. He's going to try to continue onwards here with this attack. 2 siege tanks should be doing pretty nice against this army composition, especially in a tight choke point, which is the only passage way out of the base of Zest right now. Oh, the Archons though on the backside. Let's see if Zest up the overall War Prism micro here again. The Colossi getting a couple of free shots. So do the siege tanks though. Oh, get that Robo before the 3rd Colossi comes out. He doesn't. And that could be a very, very big deal right now. In order to facilitate a victory for Zest here. He has a good amount of army. Alright, down he goes. That ramp is a tricky situation and a difficult place to fight for Kyo as the Colossi doing a boatload of damage. GG is called. And Zest, no problem, no sweat. Once again showing us that you should not underestimate him. Even if his opponent preps for the tactic that he's going for, he still will find a way to make it work. He still will find a way to make sure those DTs do an enormous amount of damage and getting himself ahead in the game. Kyo going for the counter aggression, realizing he had to do something there in that situation, and blammo! Zest, right, you know what, getting Kyo to play into his hand. And GG by him, gaining victory, being the man who was behind most of this series, suddenly turning it all around, gaining 2 victories there in the end in a row. And yeah, GG, well played to Zest, congratulations. He gets the lion's share of the bounty here that has been overall made by everybody here, of course. The Matcherino, if you haven't yet, this will be my last shout out. There's a code you can use, 50 cents like that, just in a snip. Add it to the prize pool, and that's going to be able to, you know what, just allow these guys to have a little bit more pocket change. And you might be like, you know what, 50 cents, not that much. If we all do it, if we all help out, it is going to amount to quite a bit of extra money, which, you know what, means the world to these players. It means the world to us overall as well. And it's going to allow us to get you guys more StarCraft 2 in the future if we just keep stuff like that going. So, I won't harp on about it too much longer, guys. There's quests as well. And, yeah, if you have the time, hit us up with a couple of those quests as well. And that's all. That's all. Alright, guys, I've been Kozan. Unfortunately, there's no Powerful Star here today. That is not going to be a thing we're going to be watching today, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would have just jumped right into it. Instead, you know what? I hear there's some other stuff going on, which you guys might enjoy. Some other StarCraft 2. So go check it out. And, well, I hope you guys had fun over here. I've been really Kozan. Hope to see you another time really soon. And, yeah. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Still have him here. I think oh, wait, I deleted him, didn't I? There we go. See if I can actually do this quickly. Countdown. Get rid of that one.